insert gaming down here. Blah 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 blah. Insert internet gaming media here. Blah 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 blah. Insert celebrity that plays games here. Blah blah blah. Yeah, you know, whatever. Be good. That would bring like a good 7 minutes of entertainment.
A sports celebrity played a video game. Amazing. I saw that today, or I think it was today. It's like, oh, and so-and-so's playing. I was like, so he's got a lot of money and he's playing video games? Cool.
That must be the best video game ever if that guy plays video games.
What you're telling me is that he has downtime and in that he plays video games.
Something like that. Work harder!
Shocking.
Work harder.
Go kick that ball or catch it and put it through the circle.
Well, if so-and-so is playing video games, then that's how you know that video gaming is mainstream.
That's how you know it's a good video game, because the basket foot people were playing it. I don't know. Basketball! Let's go out and buy that game. Watusi's got it. He's got the right idea. Oh, B3 GamingCast episode 70.
Yeah.
All right. So
we made it.
It's true.
So I've heard that in the aftermath of a 69 that sometimes there's crossing of streams.
I don't know what that means.
Since last episode was 69 and this is the 70th one, it makes sense to talk about things crossing streams, right?
I don't know, but you're taking away what I was about to start saying.
What about crossplay? Crossplay is
I'm
like
not going into that topic. Shut up. Before we go into any fucking topics, I just want to confirm. Yeah, this is going to be the last episode for a while until if whatever. Not a big deal. If it doesn't come back, that's fine too, whatever. It's been great, wonderful. Thanks to everyone for the support once again. I know I said that at the end of the last one. Just want to confirm. Nothing's changed. So, now, playing with crossing dicks.
Yeah, dick cross streams. Also, if you have any hate mail, please send it to b3gamingcast@gmail.com.
I don't think I've got that channel's gotten, that email's gotten any traffic since like
don't
you sent
tell
stuff,
them.
Graham. Like it's been a long time. Well,
probably
maybe
since
they'll
I sent you.
Candy back. Yeah, that's what I said. Since you sent.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Graham sent hate mail to B3.
No,
Yes.
no. He sent some
in the form of questions and
needle things. Yeah.
What is this? Really poor hate mail. Anyway, cross stream things.
There you go.
I had talked about things in the past where we're like, oh, these games are cross stream, blah blah blah, through this, and this, like
crossplay.
Minecraft, crossplay. Like Minecraft and Rocket League will eventually be through PC and Xbox and Switch or whatever.
Right,
but not
Sony wasn't right. Yeah, Sony hates everyone. That's why.
So there's more of an update on that, and it pretty much is Microsoft saying, "Hey, we're trying to make Sony be cool," and the conclusion is that Sony is like, "No, we don't want to do that." And then people are like, "Well, why not?" And then Sony says, "Because if we cross our streams, then your streams are our streams, and we don't feel safe about keeping our users and our streams safe because blah 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 blah." So they're still saying that.
Yeah.
But Xbox, Microsoft, I think are still trying to bring that up. So they're like, "Hey, look at us. You don't have to think of us as like bad or evil and shitheads anymore because we're trying to do stuff." But Sony doesn't want to play.
Well, that's the same thing with like Nintendo or Microsoft. Either they're all just pointing fingers, you know.
Yeah, of course. So,
what's the latest game that they're talking bullshit about?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific game.
Oh, okay.
I think all of the recent news is just like, hey, we're still trying to do this, but Sony's not doing it. So
what I've gathered from that though is because people have looked at it and realized
that's Philemon. That was Graham talking.
Hi, I was Graham.
Yeah, that was fucking Graham talking right now. And
yeah.
All right, thanks for the intro.
That's Philemon. Dude, it's the last podcast. I fucking fucked everything
We're doing it right.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, fuck that. Right. But what people have realized is that Sony has no issue having a game on like the Switch and Sony or the Wii and Sony doing it. But as soon as Microsoft is in the picture, they're like, we can't do it. It's not safe. Whatever. So basically, I think it's that they just see Microsoft as their direct competitor.
Exactly.
And they're like, we're not touching tips. That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'd also like
they're blaming it. But they're blaming it on
internet herpes. I don't want to touch my tip with your tip. That's what they're saying.
They're blaming it on, oh well, it's not going to be safe, and we have a young audience, and we don't want. So basically, they're just saying, well, your player base is full of assholes, and
your player base is full of child molesters, and all we have is children.
Yeah,
and Microsoft is trying to be the adult in this and said, well, you know what? You got assholes too, but we don't care. Let's let our assholes play together.
Let's touch assholes together.
But,
exactly. But yeah,
Sony's
I still like that Sony was like, we don't feel like we could keep our users safe. Hacked accounts. So it's like they've totally done that before. Like they've really kept their people safe even on their own. So shit happens. So it's all cop out and garbage to me. But yeah, you're exactly right.
So do I just label this cross-play? Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo still can't play ball? Because I don't know. Well, I mean,
yes, all of the news and information seems to point like Sony is refusing to cooperate.
You're on to something about that whole. Just use the same article every week.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Same thing. You just replace this and that. Yeah.
They don't want a sword fight. It's true.
Speaking of inserting just random things and people being mad about stuff, which is pretty much all of the news always with gaming things.
Right. I hate everything.
But a slightly interesting twist. Yeah. Reoccurring discussion is Overwatch things. And apparently they have a new map or whatever that was showcased at Gamescom or whatever, and it was all like, it's set in Australia and stuff. Australia. But before people got all triggered, I'm assuming, because
is this the take away versus take out?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Totally was all like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry to all of Australia." Because on this Australian-themed map, we use the term takeout, which is American.
That was such a clickbait fucking article title.
And I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious. This is just like all sorts of generic everything. But there's no story there. Nobody's even really triggered. No story. But it's funny.
No.
But continuing, as Kotaku does, of course, is all like...
To be fair, GameSpot had it too. I was fucking pissed. I was like, come on, guys. Come on.
Kotaku also was like,
shit to Kotaku.
Also in the trailer, they said they thought they could take our land and give it to machines, which, if you take a small fraction of that and then remove it out of context and apply it to a new context, which means taking any word and giving it a completely different meaning because you want it to, as opposed to it actually being anything legitimate. This is also the historical thing about Australians taking indigenous people's land. I was like, motherfucker, everybody takes everybody's fucking land. Like, really?
What the fuck is going on there?
You're trying to make a preemptive apology into this big, like, epic racial hate whatever thing. Good job, Kotaku. Good job.
Everything just somebody wants to just turn something political or whatever. It just,
right.
People are just bored. You know what? I agree with comedians. We just need another fucking war right now. We just need to fucking wipe out. And I used to say this when I was in my early 20s, because it's fun to say when you're ready, you're in your nihilistic state, right? If you ever been, a lot of teenagers go through that. They're like, I'm edgy, teen angst, nihilism, burn it all down, man. Then you learn, oh no, actually, we kind of need a system for things to work, because I don't want to have to worry about getting fucking shanked every 5 minutes or whatever. I kind of actually like how we have structure. I just want to talk shit about how much it sucks, because I'm a little bitch. But, anyways, so yeah, when you're going through your nihilistic stuff, then you can joke about having a war to clear out most of the population. But in reality, we kind of need the people. Yeah. So, don't really want to have a war. It's a joke. I gotta clarify jokes like that. It's fucking stupid. Yep. Shouldn't have to clarify jokes.
So that's all of the garbage stuff that I don't care about, but I thought was interesting and made me laugh.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Nice, as they say.
Yeah.
Very
Nice
nice.
pile of garbage.
What do I label that? Overwatch things? Overwatch.
Let's make it racist stuff like
Stralia things.
butthurt down under. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
That way everybody is like, I'm triggered by that. That could make me triggered. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna be triggered. Then they listen to it. They're like, I'm not really triggered. But you know what? I want to be triggered. And then they go post something on social media.
I'm gonna put undah.
Interview.
I'm not gonna put under.
Any of you watched
Undah.
that Overwatch animated short that they have released though?
Nope.
The one with the pudgy girl that I think is pretty hot. And if I were to ever actually watch Overwatch porn, I probably would watch her porn.
I haven't seen any Overwatch related animations, but I did watch that one in silence because it was on GameSpot. And I watched it in silence because I always mute the tab so I don't get surprised with, hey, well, buy a fucking car or whatever the fuck it is. You know, their ads, because they just blow fucking ads up. They just blow the shit up. Yep.
I will say though that
go ahead.
That Blizzard masters at creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like they put these little whiffs of a story. I mean, literally, like they like some incense and they just whiff it across the player base, and they're like, "Oh my god, I love this character."
Yeah,
it's like they know. You remember that the same thing? Just how to touch all the right, notes so that you get the trigger. Like, oh, I can't believe this. Yep. They did it perfectly in this animated short, and I was like, well done. I
watched it in silence, and I didn't get anything out of it.
No, I didn't even watch it. I did see it though, that it was a thing.
Well, I saw that one too, but I mean, this one with Maya too, like they're showing people that actually that died because of certain things, and then her struggle to the people that she was working with. The whole you go into cryo sleep, but people don't wake back up from it.
I knew it was some science related bullshit going on, but that's all I could tell. I was like, science.
She does have glasses, so it has to be either the library.
And she was wearing pajamas. And then I could see her figure, and I was like, she's not like super thick. She's just like a normal chick, maybe a little bit, but not too much at all. She's not rail thin. She's not a size 0,
I love how they all of her colleagues, which they never showed. They just saw like one part of one in the background that brought her coffee or tea or whatever, and they're gone. So then you feel her loneliness. But then she has the bot, and then she runs out of battery power. Then when she finally creates the gun that she uses in the game to try to send a signal out, but then it runs out of power, so she has no power to power the gun. So then the robot sacrifices itself for her to get more power. I'm like, oh, you guys touching out all the notes. Oh, I almost want to cry.
And this is why I say watch all that stuff without any sound. So you don't get manipulated, and then see if they can tell a story. And so when I was watching it, I was like, I can't tell what's going on here. Something about science or something. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to show her entire body.
But the thing is, though, you had to watch that with sound, though, because the dialogue tells you what's going on. But no, I just think that Blizzards are excellent at is excellent at crafting a story out of nothing and still not having a story.
Yeah,
if that's possible.
I think they're doing this thing where it's kind of a cool person thing, right? Where you do as little as possible. You don't say too much, and then you just kind of give a little bit here. Because people are, please, and more. Tell me more about you. You're so mysterious, And then it's like, here's a little bit more. Oh, you want to see May's body? I'm going to make you wait.
just like expectations and hype and imagination can be your worst enemy. It can be your greatest ally.
Absolutely.
You just have to let it run its course and never create a thing that can, cloud it or ruin it or whatever, because it doesn't have anything to conflict it. So you're just like, hey, I could show you that chick's rack, but then you get to see the shape of her areola and if she has
the funny thing
nipples or not. But if she just wears a really sexy top and you think about that, then whatever you come up with, true or false, can be hyperbolized or inaccurate to your brain to fit your wildest imaginations. And as long as she doesn't take her top off, she's got the perfect set.
Yeah, true. And they give like they give you the Widowmaker, and then they give you the opposite end of it of like, you'll never see what's going on with this shit, you know? Mm-hmm. So, everyone's satisfied.
Yeah, absolutely.
The entire range. I mean, I don't give a fuck, but, it's anyone that's, like, desperate to look at, like, animated, pixels that represent females is satisfied. There you go. So, yeah, okay. So I'll just label that Overwatch thick May is thick animation. All right. What else?
Yeah, what else we got? C's.
What?
He said with two C.
Thick. You said thick. I said with 2 C's.
Oh, yeah. That's how I spelled it.
Yeah. Can we just make it with two C?
I thought you said what 2 C's, and I was like, what about what 2 C's? What?
Yeah,
I'm sure Watusi's down for that.
Get them all up in that animation, girl.
All in those pixels, right? Oh, nothing's happening. Oh, it's like air.
Animated booty.
That's right.
Nothing actually there.
Sometimes that's all people need, man. They don't need the real thing. Sometimes the real thing's worse.
A screen.
There you go.
That would probably be electric.
As long as Watusi's washing his hands, I think he's fine. Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. I don't know where to go with that one. I was just thinking if you try
to
like
it, but don't think about it.
Well,
anybody else have any garbage?
Yeah. I'm sorry. What now?
Anybody else got any garbage?
Garbage?
Yeah, like nonsense that we can talk about. Get that out of the way first.
Quick
no.
Garbage.
No, not really. I just.
As when is the PC Destiny 2 beta thing?
It starts the 28th and ends the 31st. 28th for pre-order people, specifically. The 29th for everyone.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So, but
you can see this podcast late, but you could preload it. Oh, no.
That nobody comes here for news. So, but the 28th, my prediction is that's going to be a day of fuck up anyway. So,
of course.
Who's really been it's going to be crying, number one.
Oh, yeah.
And fuck ups, yeah. So, and then I'll just be like, all right, I'll play them all.
Monday, cry day.
Uh-huh.
Tuesday, play day.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, it's fine.
As like every single thing ever for the eternity of all time.
Yeah. And
if no one will expect it.
Right. And if it works on the 28th and I get to play some, I'm like, oh, that's
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's fine with me. But from what I've seen... How do they name their errors different things, like dumb things, right?
Yep, they're all named after like random animals or something else.
Llama, kitten, monkey,
beaver, otter.
There you go.
Hairy bush, whatever.
There you go.
I've never came across that creature, but I'll take your word for it.
Fair enough.
I think it's something like Harry from the Hendersons, except much more beavery.
And the Hendersons. You can actually you can download it now, like the from what I saw. I'm pretty sure you can download you can preload it.
Do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying.
I don't know what to put. I don't know what to put. I'll figure out something else later. Yeah, I know that there's different things that they're offering on the PC. I've kind of talked about it before. They kind of want to break up some of the monotony of what was there before on console, apparently, for the test. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be new to me, so I don't really care. It's gonna be like,
I don't know if you read, because you probably don't really have any reason to, but there was an article on GameSpot about the new open world activities.
That's what I was referring to, but I didn't actually I didn't get notes on it because I was just like, it doesn't mean anything to me to read these things.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the old patrol format, whatever activities were extremely simplified, and they were repetitive after you did all 6 different types, and you just kept doing them in the same areas, whatever. So depending on your whatever tolerance or preference of things, they got grindy quicker than others. This one, they changed it up, and so it sounds like regardless of if it ends up in the exact same type of scenario, which I feel like it could, it involves a lot more other smaller aspects. So either it will take longer because you're traveling to more different areas, which could naturally break up the monotony, or adding little story pieces, which I know for someone like you, probably won't do as much as it would for somebody else.
Yeah, you're talking in such general terms. I like zoning out.
That's because I don't want to like add anything that it beyond what they're saying, because they're basically talking about general terms, but they're saying, hey, it's not like this because you get to travel in more areas, or we're gonna hint at some backstory throughout, or you'll fight a boss guy. So it really is pretty general, which is why I'm saying that people who read this don't get super hyped up, because it will be different, but it might end up with the exact same thing. So don't be like, oh, it's not going to be as grindy. Well, it could be. It just will be different.
I would say
it might not be, though.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even. How do you explain this? How do I explain this? Okay, so it's like an MMO, right, or something like that. It's like going to an Italian restaurant and saying, maybe they won't have as much pasta at this one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just what do you... I mean, that's not all Italians eat at all, but I'm just saying in the United States, most Italian restaurants tend to serve a lot of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Most MMO type games tend to have a lot of grind.
Yep.
And it's not the grind that's the real issue. It's whether or not you enjoy the mechanics of that grind.
Exactly.
So that's why I always relate it to like sex. Whenever anybody is like, "Oh, it's so important," the same thing. Oh, so is fucking. That's that's why you kind of figure out little different ways to do it sometimes, right? Hence, like video games, it's the same kind of grind, but it's a little bit different. Grinding and grinding. There you go. Grinding and grinding. So it's whether or not the action, the mechanics are interesting to you. That's why. That's what
True that.
Sometimes it gets boring,
So yeah. So at least there'll be some novelty to it initially for anybody that played the first one, and so
you don't have to bring out the donkeys and carrots until later.
Different, exactly. So, but don't get fucking like, oh my god, greatest thing ever, and then when someone's like, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of whatever. Don't try to murder them or send them death threats.
Yeah,
because you're crazy.
That whole expectations. Stop expecting your panties to explode when you start the video game. Oh my god. Yeah.
This game did not make me prematurely ejaculate upon turning it on. I am so mad. They are liars.
Why did I not ruin my computer system with all of the jizz that just shot out? Like, it just all over the place.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, Destiny things. They're going to be different.
I'll take it for what it is, and I'll play it, and I'll probably enjoy it. But I don't also come preloaded with all of the experience that other Destiny players have.
Correct.
Which is not bad at all.
I agree.
That's just a matter of fact is all it is, So I in a way, I get a chance to like experience it brand new, which is great for me, I agree. Suck it, losers. No, I'm just kidding.
I also think it will be great for veteran people too, because I have the assumption / perspective that people who have played before, when they play with someone new, as long as they're not like, oh my god, let's co-op and I'm going to speedrun every level and drag you ahead.
Or like, this kind of sucks. They didn't change it. Oh, that sucks. Don't do that to people that you're playing with. Please don't do that. Yes. If you're a vet and you know all the things that suck, shut your mouth. Let them enjoy the fucking game or not enjoy it. Give them a chance. As long as people
don't do that, I think they're going to have a better experience when they play with new people, because new people are going to be like, oh my god, this is fucking cool shit. And you get to be like, you know what? It is cool shit. Yeah. So try not to be that douche guy.
Don't be that Dark Souls fanboy. All right? Don't be that... What's that other game that just had the most toxic community associated with it? It's with like sands and... no, it's like some kind of RPG where you're not supposed to kill people.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's like some stupid-looking little character and some stupid skeleton called Sans.
Oh, Undertale.
Undertale. There you go.
Thanks,
Don't be
Schultz.
those fans, which I'm still reading articles about their toxic community. I just read one this past week. I'm not even kidding. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they
So
shut people down. Yeah, there you go.
Enjoy the newness and live through the excitement of others.
Yeah.
Don't shit on someone's parade or act like you're a
Just because
know-it-all
yours
douchebag.
sucks.
So yeah. There you go.
I said last podcast that we're going to answer the
question.
The question that's on the mind of the internet.
Forgot about that.
And the generation, I would say, the generational question. We'll get to it.
When we do get to it, you can decide, obviously, as well. But I kind of can Phil go first?
Sure, yeah, if he wants to.
Phil, you cool with that?
First is what?
Answering the question, whatever it is.
Yeah, the question on the mind of the internet. Yeah.
I just gonna say 42.
No, it's
game over. Game over.
Oh, that could work.
Answered.
That could work, but it's hard. We'll have to apply it. Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know the answer. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say what else do we got? I know you have some stuff, Phil, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it, Philly.
Oh, you want? Okay, well,
Fill us in.
Why not? Okay, put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I know you talked to me about Darkwood and Dauntless. Your choice.
I was gonna say recently, Volts had brought up a horror game called Darkwood, which I had seen on Steam, but I didn't really give it much thought. I was like, oh, it looks like a horror game, not my genre game, so I'm not gonna touch it. But I feel almost slightly inclined to touch it, but in terms of probably just to spread the word about it, because it's an indie game developed by three
I'm gonna look it up
guys
now.
who were buddies in college in Poland.
Yeah.
And they just decided that, fuck it, we're gonna make a game and we're gonna quit our jobs to do it.
Right.
And the interesting thing is that they don't like horror games, but they didn't set out to make a horror game. They actually were gonna make like a tower defense game, but everything kind of just morphed and changed. But the other interesting thing too is that none of them have a background or any experience in game development.
Yeah.
It sounds very similar to another Polish company.
Well, Polish developers kind of have a bit of a, I don't know, on this list, Flying Wild Hog. What'd they do? Shadow Warrior 2, right?
Shadow Warrior.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior.
CD Projekt. Little games. Yeah. The Witcher, I think, is what they.
Yeah. So you can add these guys to the list now. Acid Wizard Studio. Just three guys. And yeah, they actually quit their day jobs, and they had backgrounds in animation and graphic design. Nothing to do with game development. Which is also probably was a little hindrance to them, because they had, like I said, originally planned to make it a tower defense game, but then they kind of morphed into the whole concept of Darkwood, and they kind of put that idea out and said, let's go with this and see where, if people want this, So they put it onto Indiegogo, which is just like what's that one called? Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So it's just a crowdfunding campaign, and it struggled a lot in the early parts, but then they created like a trailer, the InDesign.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link in chat here for people that want to check it out. Go ahead.
Yep. So they put up a trailer and stuff, and they got they generated a second trailer within the last week of the campaign. It generated a lot of interest, and people wanted it, so it got backed. So they had this naive thought, because again, they're not game developers, that they could finish this game in a year. Did not happen. This is like back in 2013 or 2014. So with that happening, and they're missing a lot of deadlines, they decided to put it on early access with Steam. That's the way they generate some interest and money. People will put money into it. They got some more interest there, got a lot of positive reviews, but then the positive reviews started turning to negative reviews because they couldn't get the game out in time. They still kept missing deadlines. Again, it's only 3 guys.
Yeah.
So, you know how quickly the internet turns on you. Oh, this game's never going to come out. Blah, blah, this and that. I was like, yeah, because you've created a game in 2 years or 3 years. So yes, of course, you know the process.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people are. So anyway,
yeah. Everything's easy.
So they finally got the game finished now, and they released it, and again some positive reviews. You know, they still got a few bugs and stuff, like people having some issues with save files, and they constantly, even on one of the guys turned 30 recently, on his birthday, he was saying, no, trying to correct these files.
Yeah, hey, it's what you want to do.
Stuff.
Totally get it.
Yep. So what also happened now is that because the game is, gained some level of interest, but they've got a lot. They've had the issue that some developers have had on Steam. One where people are buying games, playing for 2 hours and then just returning it. So they're having that issue, and then they're having the issue with people. A lot of people are trying to scam them in emails because they get flooded with emails saying that, oh, I'm a YouTuber or I'm a blogger and I want to put something up on this game. So, and people taking that, will take those keys and then just sell them on these, scam sites like G2A. Yeah, fuck G2A, by the way. Figured I should say that on the last podcast again. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
true. So with all this scamming and all this bullshit going on, and also people refunding the game, some people generally saying, well, look, I can't even afford the game anyway, but I just, wanted to try it out. They decided to do the same thing that Randy Jules, if you know the group Randy Jules, hip hop group, they decided to just say, you know what, fuck it, we put the game out there for free, and if you like it, they're one request, as I said, they're taking this word for word from them. If you like Darkwood and you want us to continue making games, consider buying it in the future. Maybe on a sale through Steam, GOG, which is Good Old Games, or the Humble Store. But please don't buy it through any key reselling site. By doing that, you're just feeding the cancer that is leeching off this industry. And that's it. That's their only request. So they said, even if you buy the game on sale at some point down the road, that they're fine with that. But you know what? They put it up on a torrent site, and they put up a safe torrent. They actually got a link for it. I could give any of you guys the link if anybody's interested, and you can go and download it and play the game.
There you go. Awesome.
I just thought that was pretty big of them because they quit their jobs to do this. There's a passion of love, and they're willing to give away all their hard work. I guarantee you, there's no, as much as people want to go and buy the next AAA title, ain't none of them can give you shit for free. Nothing. All of them trying to add microtransactions in there, and these guys are like, you know what? Here, take it. We spent the last almost 5 years doing this. Take it, and if you like it, drop us a little something through these safe channels that you can buy games through.
Right.
I thought that was awesome, and I think that's just, for some reason, it's something in Polish game developers' minds, or their mentality over there, because a lot, like the same CD Projekt Red, they got the same, like they're Good Old Gaming. That's all about having games with no DRM.
Right.
So it just seems to be that mentality that's over there that I wish would kind of branch out into the rest of the gaming industry.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior 2, that didn't have any DRM, right?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember that was like kind of a specific thing. And they even gave away Shadow Warrior recently as well. So, I think that just goes more towards to me, what it reminds me of when I hear about the Polish developers is people that are still hungry to do their craft. And they're not necessarily trying to not be able to do it, meaning they need to make money. They need to, but their principles are stronger than that. which is ridiculous. That doesn't really exist in the world, you know.
Yeah.
It does, but it's so rare.
I will add to that. I said that 5 years ago, I went to Poland for a wedding that I knew nobody. I knew no one in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the bride, didn't know the groom, didn't know the sister of the groom, I didn't know anything. I ended up staying at the bridesmaid's mother's house, where the bride was staying and getting ready. And I was sitting at the head table at the wedding. I was like, the fuck, these people don't know me. I was at the head table and I felt so well. I've never been so welcomed in any part of the world, even where I live.
Yeah.
Like, these people treated me more like family than my family. Not to discredit my family, I've got a wonderful family. But these people went the extra mile because they don't know me. My family would do stuff for me because they are my family. But these people don't know me. I became family, and I ended up taking, because I do photography, I took tons of pictures, and I just gave them every single picture that I took. At the wedding, just as a kind of a thank you.
Yeah.
Even though they had an official photographer, and he didn't speak English, and we kind of connected and just laughed and went back and forth on things. And I even have him on my Facebook as well as the couple and stuff. And I reposted some pictures. Facebook likes to say, "Oh, look, this is what happened 5 years ago," and I put that stuff back up, and they're like, "Oh, I remember this." And so it's something about people in Poland, something about the way that they're brought up, that they have a different mentality than the rest of the world. I strongly believe that.
It could be, and what I see that, like, the developer thing is, as what I see that as, how they're handling that is, they don't have the standard issues that I had leading developers, which was developers getting very tunnel vision with issues. And not stepping back. Even the company I worked with, I would often see larger problems that would occur based on small symptoms that they thought they were fixing. That whole thing about, like, don't fix the symptom, fix the fucking problem. Well, a lot of the times I would actually say, this is based on experience, that their problem that they were trying to find a solution to wasn't even the correct problem. Because they were focused on, okay, here's the thing. They didn't actually step back and take a look and say, what's the real issue here? Like when players complain about an update, this one on YouTube, man, I actually responded to it. I'll bring it up and let's see if I can. Nah, I don't think I want to look at it again. But this guy was just like, ruin. Yeah, I can't believe it sucks that I supported you, and just basically trying to undo any goodwill that they had towards Paragon developers and all that. Everything sucks and blah blah blah. And I just responded to. They were like, the vets, are leaving, and I was like, well, that's conjecture. Like, I took each one of his phrases and I just kind of pointed out what was wrong with everything that he was saying. And it was really simple. It wasn't even hard. And there was one thing about, like, the whole thing about, like, I regret the support that I've given you. And I'm like, that sounds like a person that's never had any relationships in life. With relationships, so and I don't even mean, like, sexual relationships with, whoever. I just mean in-depth relationships in general, friendships. Everything is about relationships. Business is about relationships. Doesn't have to necessarily be fucking, but
now you're hanging out with Bob instead of me. Fuck you. You were never my friend.
Right.
Like, okay.
Right, exactly. How dare you sugar in your tea. You voted for Trump? Go to fucking hell, Like, even that kind of stuff with politics wasn't always the worst in the world. It's like, you voted for so-and-so? Man, I don't like that guy, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, and it's almost like, well, I don't want to talk about that stuff. Doesn't matter. Point being, like, just got to have perspective on shit. And that's what those decisions look like with the developers saying, you know what? We're not going to win this one. We're not going to win the fact that people are trying to screw us over money-wise, and maybe we won't make what we were hoping that we were going to make. And yeah, in a sense, maybe it does suck, but we're going to get ahead of this and do it how this is how we're going to handle it. And thankfully, the double-edged sword of social media of what it is, things are amazing or things are fucking garbage. Well, anytime anything's free, it becomes immediately amazing, right? That's not true. That's not true. What these guys did doesn't make the game amazing. That just makes their action really interesting to me. Like, like I've looked at the game and I'm like, doesn't look interesting to me. Yeah, I was like, it's a top down, whatever, It could play better. There could be atmosphere. I didn't listen to the thing, and it probably deserves a look, if anything, just for the fact of what they did. And that could have been something that they thought of too. I don't want to say that they're doing it just out of goodwill, but the fact that they're willing to take that risk, whether it was a calculated play or not, is still very interesting. And I'd rather have interesting than good. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care if the game's necessarily good. At this point, maybe it's because I'm at this point in my life. I'd rather be interested in stuff because I'm dead inside. So if you can get me interested, if you can get Jimmy up, you know what I'm saying? Anyways,
if you can revive some life into your eyes from your cold, dead heart.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying if you could get my penis hard, but basically, yeah, the same thing.
I know what's quite interesting is that when I look at it on Steam, like I see one person that has a negative review. And you know why they have a negative review? Because they're saying that they played the game so much that they got past the point where it's not refundable. And now they're saying that they're giving out free copies and they feel as though they were scammed. I'm like, what? Wait. So you bought it and they're giving it out for free now. And you feel scammed? I'm like, how are you scammed?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Give me the math.
Well, put that in other terms of like, you bought some shoes and then the company's giving them away the next week. I'd be pissed. I would be.
Yeah, but mind you, they've only played 1.9 hours. They haven't passed the 2-hour mark, so I don't know what bullshit they're talking about. Steam tells you exactly.
It doesn't matter, like if they played it at all. And I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that's how I actually do feel. Yeah. Granted, I would have the greater perspective of like, how much was this worth? Is it worth me being upset over the fact that $1.99 or how much was the game anyways? Have any idea?
It's $15.
It was $15. That's on the cusp of me being a little pissy, depending on like how much money I have in my bank account, kind of thing, But
ultimately, I think most of us being us three, I think
would probably get over
some others would be like, oh well, that really sucks. But oh well, that's life. I made that choice.
Once you hear why,
I didn't know, so whatever.
But
once you hear why,
they were giving out for free, you wouldn't be pissy.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, I would not like the action because I wouldn't like that for anything. I don't want to go buy a meal for $15 and then find out the next day that they're giving that away. That's like, motherfucker, I should have just waited, Or I would have been like, can I maybe get a refund for like these shoes that I bought yesterday that today are free? Because that's a little fucked, don't you think? I can see that perspective. I really can. Whether or not I had even open the product doesn't matter to me because in that's how that works in retail. So, you get a money back fucking 30 days right there, especially if you haven't even you opened it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that those people exactly should be I'm just saying that that's actually a legitimate thing.
Emotions are legitimate.
It's legit, but and they should give them their money back if they want it. I really think that too. I really do. Because those people are going to be assholes regardless.
Yeah. Again,
and it's going to make the company just look better.
That's true. That's true. The PR for it would way outpay.
Oh yeah, sure. They'd be like, "Wow, the fucking dicks! Look what happened to them."
Shit for free, and they're going to give this guy free, even though they don't have to. Wow.
So somebody out there will give him some money.
Every other review that I see it like on the front page of reviews, obviously not going through all the other pages. This is the only negative one that's on the front page on the Steam, and everybody else is saying how much they like the game and stuff like that. stuff in that regards of positivity.
Right.
And this one person is complaining about it and saying, "Oh, they're giving it away for free now." And I'm like, some part of me wants to ask the question: did you actually even try to refund the game? Because you got 1.9 hours. You're giving me bullshit now. I could do the math. You're not doing the math. I could do the math. You can still refund that game. I don't care what you tell me.
You should murder him.
And even if you go past the 2 hour mark, you can.
He's within his refund. Yeah. That person is a piece of shit. Is what you That's right. That's all. They're just talking shit because that's internet. Anytime the internet feels, and I mean that for anybody that goes on the internet to complain about something that there is nothing to complain about, other than they feel they want to. I feel I want to. Fuck your feelings. You know? Seriously, some of the time, especially with people that are putting some work to entertain you, go fuck yourself. You know? You'll probably be happier doing that. So
also want to add to this too. I saw a video with a YouTuber, kind of popular. Y'all know who it is. I'm not gonna call them names. And they were talking about stuff like with well, they were discussing like Battlefield. Something recently that happened with Battlefield 1. Basically, it's the same thing that happened with Destiny, because they brought that up too. You know, when Destiny first came out, had all these big promises, this and that. Didn't deliver on it. Then
we call that No Man's Sky 0. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Then they brought out the DLC and fixed a whole bunch of other stuff in the game, and people were like, "Oh, this game is a lot better than it was." But when they did that, they also sold the game plus all the DLC for the same full price.
Yeah.
So people were bitching and moaning and complaining.
Right.
But I got two problems with that. One, if you're an early adopter, you got to accept the fact that you're going to pay more than other people, regardless of how they talk about, oh, season pass and you get it for this amount. You still, as an early adopter, you're paying full price. So you got to accept the fact that.
But if you buy it on launch day, is that an early adopter?
Yeah, if you buy it on launch day, yeah.
No.
No.
That's literally just buying the game because it's out.
No, early adopter. No, I can understand somebody being pissed if they bought it like a week or a couple of weeks or a month before they actually came up with that particular package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfectly fine. But this person bought the game they pre-ordered the game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is that like, if you pre-order, you gotta accept the fact that you don't know what the fuck is going to be in the game. You don't know what's going to be in the DLC if you buy the DLC. So if you get screwed, you gotta accept that. That's a gamble. That's like going into a casino, throwing the dice, not getting what you want, and saying, "This is rigged. I don't like this. I want my money back."
It is a risk. It's a risk of good faith on your part, saying, "I'm going to give you this money because I believe that you're going to give me what I want." But it's still a risk. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it's a risk. And anybody who has actually followed any business products any product being sold by a business knows that it's going to sell for a premium price when it starts. And then there are going to be discounts at some point later on. Maybe it might take a year. Maybe it might take 2 years, depending on what the product is. If some people didn't think that they could, if it's not within their means to buy it, and then all of a sudden now it's selling at half price, and you're like, whoa, I bought this product 6 months ago, and now it's at half price.
Yeah.
And it's coming with this additional stuff that I had to pay extra for.
Yeah.
What's going on? You're an idiot. I'm sorry. Beginning, and that's, if you haven't seen that recurring throughout business for however long people have been doing things, then you obviously are just living under a rock.
Yeah, games can have a weird, like, sales cycle for sure. Some can go on sale really quickly, and some can take a super long time that you wouldn't think. No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a hard one. I don't really. I see the frustration there, but because I didn't go through it and I don't know everything, I don't know dates, I don't know specifics. I kind of don't really touch it too much, you know.
Yep. But I mean, like, I could clearly say, like, I bought Mass Effect Andromeda. I think it's a piece of shit. I didn't buy it at full price. I bought it at a very good discount, but I still feel robbed. You know what I mean? I got at a bigger discount than anybody bought it.
The developer,
beforehand.
I think the creative director feels differently than you, by the way. Recently, he said something like, I don't think it was that bad, and I think that we got too much criticism. I agree that they got too much criticism because that's the internet right now, and anybody that expects, like, if Nike puts out a new shoe, you know, there's a lot of criticism behind it, hopefully, but probably not the same way as games.
I can understand that perspective, but I think that as long as you put yourself out there, you gotta accept that you can get too much criticism. So absolutely. To say that you got too much criticism is like saying, "Oh, woe is me, wow, whatever." You still made tons of money. Shut the fuck up. That's my thoughts on it. He's full of bullshit. If you really felt that way about it, you would have sat down and said, "You know what? We're fixing this game no matter what." They abandoned that game. So anything else they say from there is bullshit. I don't care.
Well, they didn't abandon it. Now you're being hyperbolic. They have definitely been putting out updates for it.
5 months after the game came out, they're done. They're making no more updates.
They're not doing any more DLC other than for the single player. That's not
but
updates.
They had DLC and stuff planned. Sorry, all the stuff that they had planned for the single player, they're no longer doing. So they abandoned the single player. The only reason that they're sticking with the DLC.
They're not doing any DLC for the single player.
No, not DLC. Sorry. The only reason that they're doing multiplayer stuff, is because there are microtransactions in that.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they're not doing bug fixes for the game. That's what I'm getting at. They're just not doing any DLC for the single player.
No, they're not doing any bug fixes for the single player either. They're done with the single player. It's only the multiplayer that they're dealing with from now on. Until they stop. That's what they said.
Yeah, I know. I actually brought it up on a podcast, and I don't remember saying that exactly. So I'm looking at my notes here.
I can go back and find the file, but they're not doing anything with the single player anymore. They're leaving it.
Well, I know, and that's why I keep stating, because I remember that was a sticking point in my mind too. Was they're not. Oh no, they're not. It's not that they're not doing anything for the single, but they're not doing any DLC content. They're still going to be doing content for multiplayer, and they're still going to be doing bug fixes. They're just not doing... And yeah, I remember that. Maybe there was something I read that was different, because it's not like that's... it's not like that hasn't happened before. So...
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff with the single player that just... Well, there's stuff that can't be fixed, and stuff that basically they're not going to fix that. Like, they're gonna fix small things, maybe like some crashes or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the game came out as a mess. He can say whatever he wants, and say that we got too much,
Yeah, well, he's not going to talk badly about a product that he created. Exactly. That's not, I would never do that either.
No, I don't. Did he create it though? I think he worked on Mass Effect 2 and 3. I don't think he worked on this one.
The director, it doesn't matter. It's if he works at the company, he represents the company, and that's the point. I use the word created, so fucking shoot me. Hold on.
Yeah.
My
whole thing is that. Yeah, my whole thing is that if you put yourself out there, you gotta expect that people can shit on you if they want to shit on you.
Yeah, in fact, there was a fucking thing about that one H3 winning that lawsuit about shitting on a content creator on YouTube, in fact. But yeah, totally.
Yeah, there you go. So to say, well, I don't think that you should got. Yeah, you know what? You shouldn't have, but you did. So shut the fuck up and move on. That's my method. Like, for me, it's like, hey, look, I put this thing. Honestly, I put something out there. Somebody said, "Oh, you're full of shit," and blah blah. This. Everybody could jump on that bandwagon and say, "You know what? If that's your opinion, that's your opinion." And
I don't know how much money they made.
I can't dwell
on
that.
I know they did all right, but I don't know how much if they met. I don't recall reading anything about that.
I can't remember the exact stuff that that were said about it, but they didn't make a loss. I don't know if they turned a profit, but I think they probably covered their expense.
Yeah. It probably wasn't worth it. I know they're not doing another one for a while, at least. They'll come back to it at some point.
So in business terms, that's considered a loss.
Of course.
If you didn't make a profit, it's a loss because that's time that you didn't make anything from.
Yeah.
So I can understand that from that business perspective. But, I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's a big game.
Yep.
But all that's just to say that I put money in that game. I didn't put as much as other people. it disappointed me, and I can move on. I'm not going to dwell on it.
That kind of goes back to that same idea of what I said. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter if you used it or not. You spent money on it, and if somebody, if it's not to the expectations, that's why people are pissed. Like about that other guy or whatever, about Darkwood or whatever going free. Granted, we can't, once you sort everything out, the guy's being a little bit of a jerk. But it's also one comment among like all of them, so you're gonna get those. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sure how we got into shitting on MEA, but we were there. The last thing I had was Darkwood and Polish publishers. Yeah. So developers. That's all.
We were probably comparing the different developers in different parts of the world or something.
Could be.
Hashtag butthurt.
Oh yeah, in there. Speaking of that and that, and like I mentioned, I saw that thing today where that H3 Productions, whatever, won some lawsuit against some dude because they made a reaction video about. Basically, they were just looking for stuff to like make content on. You know how these reaction videos are.
Yeah.
And this is granted, they said this was a commentary reaction video, so it wasn't just like sitting there like laughing or oh damn whatever, look at this, so but if you've ever seen their stuff, it is what it is. It's not my cup of tea in any way, shape, or form. I think it's honestly garbage, but it's very popular garbage. People like to roll around in garbage. My dog loves rolling around in dead animal if he can find it. So it's a known fact that living beings love rolling around in just nasty shit. So, they basically took, they go and look at people's videos and just kind of, laugh at it, whatever, and make comments about it, So they're making fun of some dude. Granted, the video in question, which I watched, their original one, was also fucking whatever, stupid and garbage, but it's still somebody's creation, So he basically, that one guy that got all pissy, got butthurt, he went about the wrong way, trying to basically twist their arm about getting money out of them, threatening them, telling them that they need to put promotion videos up for him for 3 months or some shit like that. They probably could have been sorted, but he was really pissed off that they didn't or that they made fun of him is really what it came down to, because I watched the thing too and I was like, it's some dude
He basically turned into a Shylock. He wanted a pound of flesh. Whoa, dude, all right, you can't go too far now.
The dude's video was about him taking hot chicks down a peg is what it was, so he has some kind of issues there, but or you could look at it in his perspective, which is men and women are equal. Just because you're hot doesn't mean I need to chase after you. Maybe you need to chase after me, that kind of thing. And I'm like, fair enough. You just sound like a complete fucking douchebag how you're doing it. But it's your creation, and clearly you think you're some kind of parkour man. It was really funny. But it was very cringy, too. And so they took that, and they, made shit on it. And at the same time, though, I watched their video of them doing that. And they even were from what I could tell, sincerely were you know what? He's doing what he likes to do. And he does good cuts. He seems to be pretty competent with whatever. So check his stuff out. They actually did positively promote him in the video. At the same time, they were also talking mad shit about it. So, but the judge ruled, hey, this is pure just, free use or whatever, which is good for YouTube people. So that means if you want to take somebody's video and take a dump all over it, totally free use. Get to your heart's content. You are now totally run wild.
Fucking precedent, bitches.
One thing I did find interesting about that was okay, so somebody can create content.
Yes.
You can take this content,
yes,
which numerous things you got Comedy Central with Daily Show, and all that stuff. They do that stuff. They're able to use CNN or MSN, NBC's news footage and poke fun at them,
right?
Which is recreate their own content, of their brand of comedy, which is their content,
right,
based on someone else's content. So they're
correct.
covered by that same law that the judge, said, look, hey, that's why you can't sue H3, H3. But what I find interesting in that is like, so you can do that, but you can't take somebody's music and sample it and put it and create your own creation of it and make money from it.
Well,
which
can.
I know it's slightly different.
There was a recent thing that, are you talking about that recent thing that passed in like California or whatever?
No, not that, but I was talking about like how you have music where you got like sampling.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. There was actually a recent law that was passed that said, hey, fair game, go for it. We know how to like monetize it now. That's all it came down to. And that's how like with that being something that people can upload to like iTunes and Spotify and all that, they're saying is the death of SoundCloud, because SoundCloud used to house a lot of stuff that used sampling illegally, of course, because that's how that works. And now big audio, I can't remember who it was. I think it's Sony. Is it Sony? Sony with remixes? There you go. See, there you go, Rackshaw. Sony is now allowing unofficial remixing and sampling. There you go. So basically, they worked out some deal. Somehow they're going to be able to get paid. And that's all that really mattered, is like, look, we're not getting ours. And so until we can get ours, fuck y'all. But now they're going to be able to get theirs. So they're like, hey.
But will they have to pay royalties or rights to the original owner of the content? Because that's like, if you can sample somebody,
yeah, somehow they're going to be able to pay the owners of the content. That's I don't know how they're doing it, but they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
I guess it's because these. I think I know why. Because these music streaming services, they charge a fee, and so they're able to aggregate that money and distribute it as they need, and they also pay artists very little as it is. So I think that's how that's going to work. They can just basically say, this has got this artist in it, this artist in it, this artist in it. So we need to pay them 2 cents for like, a second worth of a clip that was used. That's what I'm assuming. I'd have to go back and read that article more fully, but yeah.
But like I said, my only thing with it is that with like YouTube or with satire, comedy, doing that stuff on whatever network you're on, you don't have to get permission to do that shit. Like, if you go and use somebody's music and recreate something from it, even if you just sample 3 seconds and you play it in a different order, like 3 notes.
I think he said it was something like defamation as well, which I think is different, but I think he somehow fucked up the lawsuit where he tried to say it was like copyright infringement rather than like defamation. Maybe he said both. I'm not sure. The problem is that everything that he went after them with, which the judge was like, if I even allowed like these email communications, you would have been screwed, because you were like trying to like strong arm them into stuff, like $4,000 and, kind of shit like that, like you need to pay me that. And so
like he was giving them a shakedown. So basically he can end up in trouble.
Yeah.
More trouble for that. Yeah.
So what were you saying? Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, I was just saying that you can use you could put up a video. I could just snatch it,
right?
And put some stuff talking about it or poke
happens all the time.
Make money from it, but I don't have to give you money.
Correct.
But when it comes to the music industry with sampling stuff, I can even make fun of your music, but I got pity rights. Like how Weird Al would do. He can take somebody's song and redo it, but he has to pay them some royalties for
if you want to legally go about it, sure.
Yeah, but with YouTube or with the same like how Comedy Central would do their stuff, they don't have to pay anybody for that.
Right.
So they can make their money. So I just find it interesting the parallel. So just wondering at some point if that's gonna play a part in it coming down.
Well, I don't know that Comedy Central doesn't have to. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have some copyright infringement issues that they have to deal with, or any of those places. It's just more about like, if somebody gets really pissed off and they want money,
they'll go after.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's just
they are protected by that same law. I'm just saying that with YouTube, you don't have to pay it. I don't have to pay you anything to make fun of you and make money from it.
Yeah, it's so weird because, we've seen stuff in, like, the Warframe community where people were like, you can't use my stuff. And they're like, yeah, I could totally use your stuff. I'll do what I want. And then people have, like, a video war, which honestly only gets them more viewers, so I'm not sure what they're worried about. Like, if somebody ever did that to me, I'd be like, you son of a bitch, like, verbally, like, publicly, but then I would send them emails as if we had planned it. That way, if they ever try to, it would be like, my emails would be like, man, this is great. This is totally working out. My numbers are so up. Thanks for coming up with this idea. So they could, they could never, like, try to drag me through anything. I would be like, they could never try to, they could never use any communications. It would just be, it'd be fucked up. And I would just use it to my advantage is what I'm saying.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting win, for YouTube fair use for sure. So get ready for all of that bullshit to happen, even more than it has been.
Yeah, but also speaking of, like, same YouTube too, like a lot of the content gamers are just getting hit constantly.
Yeah.
With monetization, demonetizing. So it seems, and it's just gamers mainly that's happening too because of, like, violent stuff that is in games. So, but I just find that so interesting that they will go after that stuff, but then people could still go and make fun of other people, or still go and make prank videos or do all the kind of things once they don't step outside a certain boundaries.
What's that
and
Casey guy?
Monetize videos
Where you just walking around, like, video blogs are back. Yeah, I keep thinking that they're gonna die because they're so stupid, but they just keep coming back. I want them to die because they're empty content. But it is what it is. That's what people want. What are you gonna do, right?
Yep. But I find, to me, I compare video blogs, or vlogs as they will call them, to reality TV.
Yeah. To me, I compare it to, like, empty. I could start vlogging today. I don't have to have content. I just talk like I normally would about whatever the fuck I want. And if it causes any controversy, perfect. Yep. Did you hear what he said about... And then sorry, guys, I didn't mean what I said. Oh, man, I'm such a good actor. I could totally do all this.
Yeah, you just needed some Mad Libs.
I just need to lose all integrity and, like, self-value for myself, and then I could just do any of that. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Lose all of your
dignity. There you go.
Dignity. And you make sure you use those Mad Libs.
Mm-hmm. Mad Libs. Yeah, totally.
That's right.
There was somebody on Twitter that posted a thing about, like, a guy that used to do COD videos, and then he got into the Destiny community, and his channel blew up, like 260 or some odd thousand viewers. And he put out a video saying, like, I quit. I can't do it anymore because YouTube gaming stuff is going downhill. I'm not getting the numbers. It's, like, all over the place. Sometimes I'm making money. Sometimes I'm not at all. Sometimes I get views. Sometimes I don't at all. He's like, it just doesn't, it's not consistent. The data's not there anymore. It's not supporting what, he's like, I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Algorithms keep changing or something. He's like, I don't know what it is. But then he started talking about, like, all the people that helped him out. He's like, so-and-so helped me out with all my branding. Like, somebody literally went out of their way that had a bigger channel and did all of this guy's graphics while he's still handling his big channel, that is, and someone else helped him with something else. Like, he just kept naming all these things of people helping him. And I just started getting, like, pissed. Like, I understood the guy's plight, because he was talking about, like, things were going great. I had a girlfriend and, like, that was overseas that, she had kids or whatever. And then I had money at the time. And I was like, I'm starting to see a picture being painted here, And then things started messing up, like, with my money. And then the girlfriend wasn't on board anymore. And then I started having, like, medical problems. I'm like, yeah, this sucks, dude. I mean... I have very similar issues that I've had in my life. Not specifically with the women thing, but, with the, like, medical issues and the business. I was like, I'm currently going through a thing where I'm realizing I can't do this solo business it was my dream, by the way. You know, that was his dream, the YouTube thing, right? And he's going to give it up after all those people helped him out. Like, it's on Twitter somewhere. Like, I responded, like, hey, man, there's a lot of channels that die every day and no one sheds a tear. It sucks. You know, it is. Yeah, I didn't want to be coarse, but the reality is you have to fucking move forward because no one gives a shit. And if you give up, especially when all those people that he mentioned were helping him and all the Patreon stuff that he was getting, and he's going to give up because he can't handle it, that's understandable. You know, he was like, people don't understand how hard mentally it is to do YouTube stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm a coder. Codes change. New code languages come out every fucking year. You know, it's difficult mentally to do. I'm not saying I'm being coarse and I don't understand his plight. I'm saying that life is hard.
Yeah, life will move on.
Yeah,
with or without you. So
yeah. I think it's a mistake that he's giving up the support of the people that help him. You know, because he's not in it alone. Clearly. He even said so himself. And there's plenty of people out there that don't have that and succeed or fail.
YouTubers that say that, you know what, look, I gotta set up a Patreon.
Yeah.
Because I'm not making that kind of money. But regardless of if I get money from the Patreon or not, I'm still gonna put out content.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to do other things with my life. So that probably means that I won't be able to put out the same level of content in terms of the amount. But I'm still gonna do it because I like doing it for y'all. Because these people back me. People put this stuff.
Exactly.
You know, people watch my stuff. I have an audience. You know what? I still owe you guys something. So regardless of what happens, I'm still gonna do something.
It's like what I said about the podcast. I don't have the means right now after this one to guarantee that I can continue doing what I'm doing. So rather than, you know, say I can and do not deliver, I'd rather say, not now, possibly later, but not, I can't do that. You know, I have a lot of fucking shit going on in my personal life right now. I've thought a few times over the past month or two, I was like, I think I just need to give up gaming altogether. Give up the community, just disperse it. There's more that there's been more than a few times that I'm like, I just need to break up the Discord because I can't support that. I can't be there, and I'd rather not have something that I created be left. You know, like I don't do that. I don't make things and then leave them. That's ridiculous to me. You know, don't do it then. You know, and people, it's not a big deal, right? It's just video games, and people will go wherever they want. But that's the kind of like thinking that I have about that stuff. So, but I'm not gonna like. Yeah, I mean, the guy made a lot. He's got 200 some odd followers, viewers, and he said he's been doing it for 5 years. I'm like, man, it sounds really similar. I was at my last job for 6 years, and you know, like that. And this thing doing, you know, I was like, I'm 39, going to be 40 at the end of September, and doing my own business. I was like, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do it again or get that opportunity. Yeah, this has been great being able to do this and do gaming at the same time. You know, I can't, but now I can't support both, and that's totally fine with me. It sucks. But, you know, at the same time, what am I going to do? Like when Volts was like, oh, that sucks. You know, it's sad that you can't. I was like, I don't feel it's sad. I was like, I think it was great that I was able to actually do the podcast for as long as I was able to do it, you know, and consistently keep up with it. All I'm saying is people definitely, there's people out there, that guy needs help and he's got support. And I hope that he doesn't go too long before he starts recognizing that, you know, because in that video, he made it sound like the worst, like his life is ending. He's like, I'm shutting down social media. I'm doing all this and I'm just going to, you know, like he's going to go into a hole. And I'm like, that's horrible. Don't do that, dude. Don't do that, you know? And so that was like this, I saw that. And then on this morning I tweeted, I was like, there's a lot of people out there that I see on a daily basis that they need help. They need counseling. They need to learn to love themselves and take care of themselves. And I didn't mean to be serious like this, but what the fuck, it's, you know, do what I want. And sometimes it needs to be said. A lot of people go to the internet and they yell out all these things, and I see it on a constant basis about how much their life sucks. And I'm like, do you want to eat chicken soup for the same fucking meal like a week in a row because that's going to save you money? That's what I've been doing. Do you want to eat oatmeal as a dinner maybe for like a few months because that's what you got and you don't want to go and spend money? I'm not doing it to make a sad case. I'm doing it because it's what's necessary for the business that I'm trying to make, you know? But so just take some perspective, people. And I'm not even saying that's sad. I was happy. I was like, I got fucking raisins and, you know, cinnamon, and I'm not sad about it. I've been in worse positions. I'm just saying that
fucking raisins.
You got food.
Yeah.
You got a roof over your head, and you got the internet.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't know if they can have any of that stuff every day, and they're still fighting every day to try to exist. And try to make something out of it. And you lost your YouTube channel.
Well, no, and I do feel for that empathetically. I did. You know, like somebody was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No. I'm saying that Twitter's not a good place to explain yourself, but businesses fail all the time. People's dreams fail all the time, and nobody sheds a tear. You know, this guy has so much support from what he is saying that I hope that he recognizes that. You know, and people out there on Twitter too that, you know, I constantly see too that are like, oh, this is my life and this. People are listening to you. Please do something about it, you know, because we can't always, you know, be what's needed through a tweet. Sometimes that's enough, but a lot of time the Band-Aid's not gonna work all the time. You know. Yep. You gotta care for yourself, you know. But
also, I think if you're going to Twitter to express those kind of things, you're really wasting your time, because I can't even express what I want to customer service for game companies in a tweet. So if I can't even say that in a tweet, what the fuck are you gonna say your personal shit?
You just had something happen with, what was it, Destiny, right? You were asking a question about the pre-order, like, beta thing. Sorry about being serious. You know, I'm serious sometimes, whatever, and I'll do what I want. So, but yeah, the Destiny pre-order thing. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, basically, you know, just went to. I saw that Destiny was being sold on Green Man Gaming. I said, "Oh, cool." You know what I mean? They usually give you like a little discount, and they got like 18% off. And I was like, you know, maybe if I like the game, I'll buy the standard package.
Right.
And then I saw when they scrolled down, I saw something about regions. And I was like, regions? I was like, hang on, Blizzard, Activision, they've had issues in the past where they've region locked games, so you can play with people in Europe or the US, you know, depending where you are. So I went, checked this region thing. It directed me to Activision, their site, their support site. And it said, oh, well, if you're in this region, so it said Barbados, you're in region 2. USA, Canada, and I can't remember the other place, but it's some other place Puerto Rico, I think it was, or something. You're in region 1. Europe, all the European countries, you're in region 3. So I was like, hang on, does this mean I can't play with people in other regions, or it just means that I just have to have a region? Because that isn't the issue with Diablo 3. Like, you've put it under a region before, but you can still switch regions and play with people. But if you play on the European servers, you have to start a fresh character all over again. So if you play on the US servers,
they don't sync data. Yeah,
they don't sync the data, which is fully understandable.
Yeah,
different
it is.
servers to be able to sync that data, that's a huge undertaking and cost. I have no problem with that. I just wanted to know if that's the case, because then I want to know, you know, all right, which region am I going to put this on, and who am I going to play with the most? So I just said they had something, you know, so they could, on Twitter they have, you know, Activision support. You know, so I said, I'm just gonna tweet something out and just see what happens, you know. So I tweeted out, you know, Destiny PC is activated by region. Does this mean that people in region 1 can't play with other regions, like, you know, region 2 and 3? And the response I got was the stereotypical support response. Hey there, check out this link for all your Destiny support questions. And it was a link back to the same fucking site they went to that discovered the whole region stuff. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You sent me back to the same fucking site that I just came from.
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't know I came from that site, but that site has no information. It just says they're the region. So I just had to tweet back, and just tell them, being there, and that link is the reason why I asked my question. If possible, it would be nice to get a direct answer from your Twitter support. No response.
Yeah.
When I put that question up, the first question, I got a response within hours. Put that other one up 21 hours ago, nothing. And I know they're not going to respond.
Answer solved. So that's why. Problem solved. It's like getting up to the counter. Yes, I'd like a burger and fries. Sir, the line starts at the door. Yeah, I know. I just waited through all of it. Yeah, the line starts at the door. What? And then you get back. Yeah, fine. Go back to the line. Come back. Yeah, I'd like a. Yeah, sir, the line starts. What the? Yeah. You're not getting anything. You're not getting past. What did I say? That I was like, it's like getting through support in big companies is like trying to siege a castle. Yeah, you didn't even get past the moat.
Nope. Somebody needs to go and bring Grom.
Oh my God!
Lord of the Rings. You gotta break down that door because they're not letting me in. And the thing is,
they sent out their envoy to turn you away. That was just
But my whole purpose of doing stuff like that is that I know I'm not going to get a response, and I want to put it out there so that I can just go and take a screenshot of this stuff. I say, this is what you can expect for customer support. It's all very generic, scripted responses. You're not going to get anything. It doesn't matter which company, unless it's like a small, very independent company or a mom and pop shop or something like that. They might respond. Not always.
Well,
they might not know the deal. People.
Maybe the answer lies in is Destiny 1 cross region. That's where I would go. I'd have to go look that up.
Yeah.
But then the other thing too is that Destiny 1 was only on consoles, so you don't know if what I played on consoles is going to play the PCs.
I don't, but I'd go there first. Like that, I would definitely take that as because I know they said they're using pretty much like the same infrastructure. With the exception of like some updated stuff or whatever. I remember reading about that a long time ago because some guy on Twitter that's like big on about Destiny was being a dick about it. So, and I was like, whoa, dude, you don't got to call everyone a fucking idiot just because we don't know what you know, fucking smart ass motherfucker. The data that he was talking about came out that same day, and then he was acting like a big shot. Well, apparently he is a big shot in the Destiny community. So,
but I will still go back to say that Destiny 1 did not come out on the Blizzard app. And the Blizzard app treats things very differently than anything else.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You got me, man. So,
and Graham chimed in with that. I fully agree, Graham. That sums up everything I just said.
You win, Phil. There is no answer. Everything sucks.
I don't want to win.
Sorry. I'm saying there's options. This is what I do. Like, this is what I did for a living. I never took in fact, the worse that something appeared as far as like a problem, the more solutions you could come up with. It's like, all right, you start here. What's next? All right, let's go back over there to support and find another way to contact them. All right, what's the next thing? Let's talk to some vets. All right, what's the next thing? Let's find somebody maybe on the forums that, I would just, if I really wanted that fucking answer, I'd get that fucking answer. And there's a reason why everybody would come to me for fucking answers anytime the partners were out or the director, whatever, Because I just all right.
What you're saying to me right now is I should pass this question on to you so you could just get that fucking answer. All right, cool. Thanks, Janza. We'll get that answer from me. Sure. That's what I pulled from all that just now.
Sure, man. I can look it up. I'm naturally curious. That's the other thing. I'm naturally curious as to if it piques my interest, I'll be like, what are they going to do, So, and that does pique my interest because it's a game I want to play, So.
Yeah. But again, too, my whole thing, though, too, is just I just wish that when you respond to customer support, that if they don't have the answer, they would just say, we do not know at this point in time.
They're not going to do that.
If we do get an answer, but I just really would prefer if you just dude, you don't fucking know.
But that's any big company. The only one that I've had great success with that was not like that was T-Mobile, my phone company. But Time Warner was always garbage, and any big company's always been garbage with they're just canned answers. I hated it. Uber, I used Uber. There's a food delivery thing called Favor, same garbage. I remember I moved like within downtown, and I was like slightly outside. I was like part of the block that I was on was covered in their whatever, and I was one block up, and I was like, hey, I'm outside of the like delivery range, but can you just make an exception? Just move the fucking line. Because I was like, just look at my account. I've bought a lot of stuff when I was in downtown office, And they're like, oh, sorry, the regions are what they are, and blah, blah. I was like, okay, that's a canned answer that I don't care for. Like, I just went right back to them. And was like, till I got a person to talk to that basically was like, yeah, no, sorry, that's... And I was like, so you're still going to give me a canned answer, It's like, I'm not looking for a no. I'm looking for, yes, we're going to move this line or whatever whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I can safely say, I am that kind of person that the same way you are, you will breach the castle. You will find a way to get information.
Yeah.
When it really matters.
Yeah. When it matters. Yeah.
I had an issue like this, similar to this, but it was in terms of an insurance company shutting down.
Oh,
I
yeah.
put money into for years. And I called them constantly every week,
right.
until and the thing is that I didn't harass them. I was so polite.
Yeah.
And I was so polite to the point that the person, I knew I was talking to the same person over and over at one point.
Yeah.
That person said, you know what? I'm going to give you the number for such. They said, they said, look, I'm going to put you up. And I actually got through eventually. A lot of people didn't get through. So I don't.
Yeah.
Also, I probably was a little bit lucky that I got back my money when a lot of people didn't, when that company went under.
Wow. Yeah.
But in that instance, that was like, that's my, I put years into this. This is my money, my life. I worked for this.
Yeah, my deposit, I ended up getting more money back. Don't know all about that.
But for this is a fucking game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not in the grand scheme of things.
And it's not even something you're gonna pre-order, right?
No.
Right. So yeah, if it were me and that were my concern, because I did pre-order and already pay for it, yes, I would chase that down because it was not cheap, But yeah, no, I totally get that. Totally get it. So, Graham, I think you're right. I think we are going to push to the normal.
Told you.
Jeez, man.
Told you.
Well, I know I can make a lot out of nothing. That's beer bull is bullshit. That's the whole point behind it. All right, let's fucking move on.
Yeah, sex party. What?
Did you have something else, Graham, that you wanted to throw in there to kind of change it up a little, or?
It's not that big a deal, but I guess it's a little sad that the Rainbow Six thing is getting pushed back 1 week.
Oh yeah, I've got little details on that too.
That's so vague.
Well, I'll let him fill it in. I don't want to take his
the Blood Orchid update thing with the new map that we talked about. The character user. It was supposed to be 29th, which is this Tuesday, right after the fancy tournament, whatever's going on this weekend.
Right.
But it's getting pushed back a week. I don't remember why.
I think it's a smart move, and I think Paragon is dumb to not move their update as well. They should move it.
What's happening that you're saying that they should move it back?
Destiny 2.
Oh, right. Yes.
Beta.
Thing.
On the 28th, but I mean, the 29th is still going to be when everyone else joins in.
Mm-hmm.
So, calculated or not, smart move regardless.
Yep. That's true.
On the other hand, Paragon is going to be dropping V42.3 on the 29th, which I think is a bad move. But, I think it's a smart move that they do it on a Tuesday. People always wonder, why don't you do it on a Friday? And I was like, because you idiot. If they did it on a Friday, they'd have to work the weekend, which maybe they don't want to work, right? Or maybe they have to work more hours because they have to fix something that fucked up during the patch. If they do it on a Tuesday, they do it during the work week. That's why Monday is my favorite motherfucking day of the week.
Not only would they have to, not only if they drop it on Friday, would they have to work on the weekend. They'd have to work on the weekend after working extensive hours to try to get it out by the Friday.
And
so they would already be tired.
And more selfishly, as a gamer, you would be pissed because that's your time to play. Yeah. So thank them.
I wanted to play and it's all dumb and broke.
I actually said that during a live stream. Chat. I chatted. I didn't say it. I put it in the text. Nobody cares. Nobody ever. I find that I'm hardly ever streamers hardly ever read what I type out. I don't know what it is. I don't think I'm trolling them or anything. I just I'll just say stuff. Maybe it's because it's flat or who knows what. I don't know. I find that I hardly ever read. People hardly ever respond to stuff I say. And I'm just, I'm just like, okay, you asked for an answer, there it is. So,
maybe people just don't know how to interpret what you're saying correctly.
Maybe it's because I'm not being,
You forgot to add in fuck shit, cunt.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm louder, not
sandwich.
I'm louder, not typed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should start typing your messages with caps locks.
Yes.
I did find the Paragon coming out. I was like 29th. Wait, isn't Destiny's thing the 20th? Where they bring it out on the I was like,
yeah.
All right.
And the 29th being the open beta time too, so that's worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we move too quickly past Blood Orchid, but yeah, we mentioned it before. Hong Kong map, of course. 2 defenders, 1 attacker. I didn't mention that in notes last time. I remember we might have said it, but it wasn't in notes for sure. There's going to be 2 Polish defenders, and 1 is a Chinese attacker that we know of. We
be the most polite and inviting defenders ever.
Take off, eh?
Yeah, no, not Canadian.
Polish.
Not
They're
Canadian. But
That's
yeah,
what a Canadian would say, and then they would say that they're sorry for telling you to take off.
Sorry.
So both of the Polish defenders I found interesting use mines. One has something called Grzmot mines. It's Grzmot that stick to surfaces and detonate with movement. So basically, they're movement-based explosion. So anything that comes near, and the explosions they don't damage. They disorient and stun enemies. That's from Ella, the Polish defender. Comes with pistol, shotgun, SMG. They didn't mention specifics of those weapons, which ones there are. And then Legion is the other defender, the Polish one. And they use GU mines? GU mines? It's like a capital G, lowercase u. I don't know if that's GU or Jew. I don't know. Fucking know. Anyways, they're...
sounds racist. Anyway,
well, remember GIF or GIF, right? All right, so that means every G is in question. That's all I know. So, so these mines that they throw, they're really more they inject poison when you touch them. You step on them, you can actually pull them out, but that leaves you vulnerable while you're trying to pull them out of your foot. And they actually distort your vision and damage you. So that's why you would want to remove them because of the damaging over time. And apparently... Goo, I'm just going to go with Goo so we don't make anyone triggered, right? Can build, I don't know how to put this. They can build up to 7 mines over time. I guess what it is their counter goes up over time, where they start off with 1 or 2. It didn't say if it was 1 or 2. They start off with a certain amount, and if you just, while the match is going on, that amount will increase. So they, you can have up to 7 mines. Is what I was what it said, which is interesting because remember they're cloaked, so no one can see them except for Twitch. Twitch can see them with their little bot. Well, I mean with her what do you call it? The wrist thingy. I think it's Twitch, or is it the other one?
No, you're thinking of IQ.
IQ. There you go.
Thing.
Yeah, her little wrist
wrist
rocket.
I feel like you'd be saying robot
when you
stuff.
When you said that, I was like, what? They have They have Twitch integration? This game is fucking awesome.
And then, of course, Ying, that sphere that we were speculating on turns out to sound like a... it's a sphere that she can throw or roll, and it's a blind charge that shoots into the air. It shoots out blind flash charges into the air. So it does remind me of the Division rolly ball.
Oh, yeah. That Seeker Mine explosion for sure.
Seeker Mine. Yeah. Except for it just blinds, and it doesn't actually, do any damage. But she comes with apparently some glasses that help her to not get blinded.
Glasses.
So, my glasses. And at the same time, the map is going to be a theme park. I didn't realize that, so I put that in the notes.
Nice.
Does he have a minigun? Volts, does who have a minigun? Stuff. Yeah, very tactical. 2 defenders, and the one is an attacker, but still, it's nice to have tactical stuff on the attacker side.
Yes, thank you. Agreed.
Also, it is nice
Give me
to have
toys.
Stuff that,
yeah.
It's also nice to have stuff that just doesn't just, the only thing it does is just damage. Like, it gives you benefits in different ways. Like, you hear explosion go off, you know they're over there, you know that they're stunned, you can use that in a more tactical way than, oh, this just gonna do them damage. Like, there's more to it than just trying to hurt them,
Yeah. Yeah, Volts was asking.
That also builds up. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, just saying that, and there's more to it that they don't just make all 7 one time. Like, as the match progresses, the intensity builds up. They can make more. Stuff like that. I think.
Oh yeah, dude! If they started with 7 at once, that would be ridiculous. Yeah, just blanket an area with fucking goddamn fucking. Can we get like sound bites of the characters doing that kind of stuff, like when they step fucking god? He's over here. Got one. Oh man! So you get that Legion guy. You get let's see, Ella. And then you get like Frost, who has the like welcome mat. You get all the trap people. Just trap up the entire place. Oh man,
I just hate everything.
And then Mute, so he can make sure that none of their traps get like found and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, there's a Mute charge. I'm gonna go. Bzz. Yeah. But yeah. Paragon. That's what you were saying, Phil. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we kind of talked a little bit. As I get more info, So bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Paragon. And I know we talked about... Did we not say something about... No, we didn't say that. Anyways, sorry. I'm looking at notes. Sorry. I was Titanfall 2. I thought you had mentioned it, Graham, but it was Rainbow Six Siege.
I didn't. No, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Paragon. Version 42.3. Mastery rank cost changes from rank 1 to 4 will be in this order. Rank 1, 25,000 to go from rank 1 to rank 2. Rank 2 to 3 will be 75,000 cost of rep. Rank 3 to 4 will be 100,000, and rank 4 to 5 will be 150,000. So they did listen to the community, and they did bring down the costs. But rank 5 and on is 500,000. So, but they did say they brought down those ranks, in case you want to, level up the characters. The other thing is, apparently the cards were locked to level 25. Apparently some cards, like rare cards, were not accessible to people whose accounts were not level 25. I did not know that. I wasn't aware of that. So that is now unlocked. Card types have been unlocked to all players, or is going to be unlocked. Oh, and by the way, if you had bought masteries prior to 42.3 on that old system that they just on the system that they just released with version 42, they're going to give you a free mastery token for that, so you can spend mastery on something else, so you'll retain your current whatever mastery it is and get another one, basically.
That's nice. They didn't have to do that, but that's good.
Well, it's that whole thing about like if you go look at I really encourage people to go look at the comments of the community update that just happened for version 42.3, what they're talking about there, and it is rife with like, this game sucks now, it's so broken, I don't even play this game anymore, I hate this, blah blah blah. It's just vile. But at the same time, in the you listen to the guys and they're like, hey, we took your feedback, we made changes, yeah, we totally, the whole point of us doing something is to try it out. Clearly it didn't work. So we're making changes. Thank you for the feedback. And in the meantime, somebody was like, fuck this, fuck. And I'm like, wow, okay, oof, I'm not even responding to that one,
Some people just can't please no matter what they do. They could give that person, 10,000 gold coins, and that person will still complain about something else.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because I hate seeing like an entire. I'm not saying that they need to be, developer apologists here, but they need some perspective, is all, This is why, another reason why I'm putting the podcast on hold, because I can't deal with this petty type of shit while I'm really trying to deal with real life stuff and gamers who can't seem to have life perspective. They don't seem to understand how little these things actually matter and in my head, I'm like, my business is not succeeding, which is my livelihood. I should care about your whining and bitching about a video game. This is why I don't want to do that. I'm putting it on hold too, because I don't want to give that I need to have the empathy of a normal gamer that's going through this shit. It's important.
And that's why when you said that they were giving up mastery tokens for people that bought that stuff, and they said, "Oh, that's nice." They didn't have to do that.
They did.
The reality is they didn't have to do that because they stick it into something that really matters. When the banks in the US and other major countries did the shit that they did, and pretty much made the economy of the world kind of collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Did those people get back their 401ks and their mortgages and all that shit? No. They didn't give any of that stuff.
CEOs got away fine, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, they didn't lose anything. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that they fucked
Those
up.
are the get good MOG pros of life.
Yeah.
But so what I'm trying to say is that in real life, you can get screwed over. They can say, well, we fucked up, and they're gonna change their policies.
Right.
But they don't have to give you back shit. That's reality. That's life. That's people's lives.
God, that's what I'm saying. In real perspective,
let's move on. Either play or don't play anymore. Find another game.
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is, even the developers would be like, they're not going to tell you to go play another game because they're not stupid. They need people. Mm-hmm. It is hard enough to keep people's attention, and they're doing a free-to-play game, which means they're not making money if you download the game and play it. There's no guarantee. It's like a good faith system that like, hey, look at the work we've done. Reward us if you feel that it's worthwhile. That's like, I'm just going to do that. Who does that? What industry does that? Do you go for a massage and like, hope you liked it. If you didn't, tell me to go fuck myself. Do you go eat a meal and then just go back to the kitchen, the chef's kitchen and say, this fucking sucked because this piece of bread was a bit soggy for my taste. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. I'm going to kill your mom. Oh, you don't think that they were bad? Yeah. Go look at the comments for this last one. It's bad. I haven't seen it that toxic in a long time. Well, I've seen it on other games, but not on Paragon.
The awfulness things and the like things that you said verbatim are things that I've heard before in other toxic things. So that's why it was funny, because it's true.
Yeah. It's funny. I think it's funny because it's so out of touch with reality.
Oh, yeah.
People
it's
like
so absurd that you just can't do anything except laugh at the absurdity of it.
Well, what's even more ridiculous is people that are on board with that, like, oh, you're totally right. And I'm like, oh, okay. Is there no, like, where's the reasonable people around here? I guess everyone that's reasonable was like, I'm not touching this shit.
They're like the townspeople in fucking Bloodborne. They're like, oh, fucking crazy ass beastman. I'm going inside. Yeah,
and that's why it takes crazy hunters like myself that are willing to jump in there and say, you're a dumb piece of shit. Let's fight, bitch.
Confirm.
Logic, motherfucker.
Bloodborne here.
The other thing I want to add on to what you said, too, is where you said, hey, look, here's a game. If you like it, spend some money with us. But not, to add on to that, what they're also saying is, here's a game. Spend some money if you want. If not, keep playing the game and be part of the community for those people who spend money so they have people to play with. You know what I mean? They could have easily just said, you know what? No. Spend $30 and you get to play the game. You can play all the characters. And then feel horribly like Lawbreakers.
Oh, how did that go with Lawbreakers?
It's not going well.
I kind of figured.
It's done what it does.
It just didn't have any, like, steam behind it, And I don't mean the publisher. It didn't have any, like, It had some hype, but I think they did a few of those beta. It just didn't come out quick enough. Something missed badly.
You know what that game looked like to me the entire time I watched it? I was like, oh, this is like a Destiny mix of an old like Quake style Twitch shooter. And I'm like, why are you like blending two things that are very different?
Well, I mean,
it just seemed odd to me. Like, oh, if I wanted this aspect, like that type of thing, I would just do that one because it's more refined. Or if I wanted that thing, I'd just do that because it's more refined. It just didn't seem like a hybrid or a blend that seemed, debatably necessary, but just like it just didn't seem.
It's a little sad to me because it does look like a quality product. It
Correct.
Just doesn't seem like it hit any of the things that the majority of the people want.
The other thing, too, though, is that the unfortunate thing, though, is that a lot of people think, well, that guy does come across as an asshole. I can't remember his name, but the guy who is the head of that company that makes Lawbreakers.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yep.
A lot of asshole stuff. And I have heard actual people that I, come in contact with say, yeah, I hope it fails. I'm like, whoa, dude. I mean,
Lawbreakers.
The guy in charge of the company might be a dick, but what about all the other people that have been working on the game? Are they assholes too? I mean, don't just hope that shit can happen to people. Is that you don't know how that affects other people? Those people, that's their livelihood, So it's like,
I forgot what.
Don't play it. If you don't
what's
like
the other big game that they did? Isn't that the guy from Gears of War? That's who it is. That's the guy who did like Gears of War. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's who that like creative director or whatever is. Let me bring it up real quick here.
He's like the
Cliff Blazinski.
Yeah,
yep, that's him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's like the Ryan Seacrest of games. He really is.
Everybody. I mean, I hear his name. I'm not going to say everybody because that's ridiculous, but I do hear people reference him a lot. So in podcasts, every once in a while, and by a lot, I just mean like he comes up more than never. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know too much about his history except for I remembered Gears of War, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, that's where I got to know who the hell he was from.
Plus, I did like what they said about Lawbreakers and about Gears of War, how they were leaving the franchise because it just became too bloated as far as the marketing budget and all that was concerned, and they just couldn't match the expectations and the money that was being pumped in there. To me, it seemed good what was being said as far as when it comes to integrity. It's like, look, this is becoming massively ridiculous, and it's not going to happen the way you're thinking.
Yeah, you can make a TV show go for a bazillion seasons, but at some point, it's just better off just to let it be.
Yeah.
Just finish it and be like, all right, it's cool. We can do something else.
Uncharted, take notes. Sorry, but I thought that series is going to die. Don't they have a new one out?
Don't you dare apologize for ripping on Uncharted.
Oh, but I mean, they're good. Naughty Dog's not a bad developer or anything. So I think that's who does it, right? Naughty Dog?
Yes. Uncharted and then Last of Us.
Yeah. They're not a bad developer at all. In fact, they did a lot of great things. I think it just is tired. It's a tired series.
Yeah. Agreed. Super agreed.
Where did we get off track?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I was bitching about Paragon Community. I know that. Right. I've been wanting to. So I'm not saying it's
fault. I mentioned Paragon.
Sorry, no. We were on it. That was the correct one.
Dare apologize.
Lawbreakers. There you go. Lawbreakers. Yes.
That's
it didn't come out the way it needed to. So you think they're probably going to go free to play at some point, right?
They don't have any choice. I think they need to. And they need to do it as soon as possible. If not, that community.
They don't want to pull a Battleborn and wait for like a fucking year or whatever, then become super irrelevant. No one give a crap at all. Yep. Damn.
From what I've heard, they're getting close to Battleborn numbers in terms of like how much of a dip that made. So, if you look at what happened with them, you never want to go full retard, or you never want to go full Battleborn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some good games have come out this year, so far that people really want, and then there's been some epic duds. Almost is really kind of what it comes down to. So it's been interesting, 8 months, I guess, already. So What about Dauntless? Speaking of new games coming out and all that stuff and whatever, and
Yeah, I've been playing
tiers
way
or
too much of that.
you have been?
I have been playing way too much, I think.
Oh, okay, that's good then, right?
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I think it's a good game when it plays well. Because again, all right. Let me just state it for the fact the game is just came out of technical alpha, is in early access, so a lot of stuff is just not there, and I can't have like I'm not hyped, and I can't have high expectations, and I can't be overly frustrated. Though I do get frustrated with the game when things don't work because it has a lot of like server lag. Even if I play on the EU with people from the EU, obviously I'm gonna get lag because that's further away. But on the US side, where other games where I don't get nearly as much lag, I get a lot. But it's a smaller game.
Yeah, I think I did see that one stream where they were complaining about like the servers or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they updated again today, and it just there was a lot of server issues. A lot of people could not get on, especially on the EU side apparently. It's a good game. It's got a lot of potential. I think if they do all the right things, which I don't know what are all the right things because I'm not a game developer.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That the game could go far. It is gonna have, though. I think it's gonna have the same issues as Warframe. It's the kind of game where they have to keep adding content, and that's a really tough thing to keep doing for years going on.
I know
you can
how
do that for the first year, maybe 2.
Right.
But after that, that is going to be, to keep things fresh or keep adding things is going to be very difficult. So
right, it's the difficult thing about like adding something, but also needing money because you're doing work. People want the stuff, but they don't always want to pay. You know.
Exactly, but it's going to be a free-to-play game,
right? So, which means microtransactions. Because how do you get I don't know, recourse, is that the right word? For I think it is, for work done, you know. How do you get compensated for work done?
Yep, but they have stated too that their microtransactions are going to be purely like cosmetic stuff and nothing that makes you stronger or better in the game.
Right.
They're dedicated to not doing that. That was one of their sole things that they mentioned. So that's a good thing, that you can't just pay to progress in the game. Everything you get in the game, you have to earn. However, I will say that
we'll get to it. People will become comfortable with it in a few years. Pay to win, they'll totally be on board.
Eventually, I mean, it happens in Korea, so I mean, there's no reason it won't happen elsewhere in the world.
Yep.
But I will say though, it has the same issues to me that Fortnite has, where everything is locked behind the RNG gamble. So they're to upgrade your gear. Or to upgrade your gear, you might need to one of the behemoths that you have to fight, because you have to go and fight these behemoths. I give background story because I don't know Graham will know much about the game since it's just strictly PC, and you have to pay to get into the early access. So basically, these various creatures, started to feed on this ether, and this ether is like an energy that kept the planets together. So by them feeding on the ether, they got bigger and stronger and became behemoths. But by doing that, they cause the planets or planets or whatever it is to break apart. So now you got all these floating kind of look like islands, because it just broke apart and it's just floating, kind of like how Lawbreakers is, just no gravity in between there. So you actually have to fly to these areas as a hunter and kill these behemoths, because they're like a parasite then, in that sense. They're causing the destruction by them just feeding off of these things. So you gotta fight them and beat them to get better gear. So what you get from them, like their scales, maybe a break off a beak, you can build your armor up from that and get stronger and better, get resistances from that. One issue I find with it is that the way it's set up now is that if you do the fights and you attack mainly like the face of the behemoth and you break off the beak, you hear the noise where the beak breaks, there's an RNG chance now of you actually getting the drop.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta fight
This is stupid.
To actually get that part broken off. But then there's no guarantee, because that happened today. Somebody I was playing and we broke off the beak. One person got it. I didn't get it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So why put all that time and effort into doing something and then you not get it? So you could be the sole person attacking from the front. Everybody should be attacking from the sides, or because attacking from the front is usually
somebody else got
place to attack from. Yeah, and somebody else will get it. So even the person that was in the fight today that broke it off, they were like, the beat broke off, I heard it. And he didn't get it, but somebody else got it. He wasn't trying to get it, by the way. He was just trying to attack them from the front. But he didn't get it. The other person, I was like, so, like stuff like that to me is like, you say you have to earn your gear, but then you can't really earn it because it's locked behind a random number generator. And to me, I find that always is bullshit. And then the other thing too,
the problem there is loot distribution. They should handle it a number of ways. MMOs do it. I'm not going to try to tell them how to fix their shit, but MMOs do it a certain way. Or there's in-game, where people just, decide on their own. But yeah,
And then
or even better, if let's say first off, why would you not ever be guaranteed either the entire beak or a piece of the beak? Because if you think about this, if you're hitting the fucking thing, maybe it shatters sometimes, right? So everybody gets a piece, or you get a piece. And maybe next time you get the whole thing, But at least those pieces that you get every single time, because either you break it all, it cracks, or you get the entire thing, That's just how that should be handled, If they want to they want to slow people's progression is what it is. Because the point being they want them to play it longer.
Yeah. Maybe you get 3, or maybe you get one piece if you're lucky, and that's you get the whole beat. Or maybe you get 1 out of 3 pieces that you might need. So it's like, hey, look, you got a piece of you got a broken beak. If you get 3 pieces of this, you can put them back together and get a full beat. Something like that. Or maybe you need 4 or 5. However you want to add the longevity. So, but the other issue I have with it as well too is that when you defeat the monsters, you're guaranteed like a core. You get a core where you get different aspects and elements from the monsters that you also use for crafting your gear and weapons. That core comes in common, uncommon, rare, and epic. That is also RNG. So you could be the person that did the most damage to the monster. You could put in the most effort. Like everybody could die on your team. And it's like, if this last person dies, the mission is failed. You have to extract. But this person fights to the bitter end, and nobody else can fight, and beats the monster. And then they get a common, and somebody who died early on gets an epic. Because it's random. And I'm like, that to me, I would feel that to me that's disheartening, because you put in all that time and effort.
Of course it's disheartening.
You pretty much pulled the team. You single-handedly carried everyone. No. They said they're not going to put trading in the game. Yeah,
because it goes back to the same thing about but no, that's absolute bullshit, because you have to earn it, my ass. Now we can absolutely say for sure it's just about them trying to find ways to keep you playing the game longer.
Yep.
That's simply it. Because no one does what you're saying, like, I'm going to attack the tail because I want to get the tail. Someone else got it, even though they weren't attacking the tail. How is that earning it?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. But I was dead on the ground at the moment. Oh. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. No, I would say that's to me, that's the main thing that just like from day one when I played, I was like, this does not make sense to me. This feels like you're just trying to prolong it, and you're cheapening the whole thing of earning something. No, the combat is, as somebody described to me, the combat is very Dark Souls light, as somebody said. And I was like, I can get that, because it's more forgiving than Dark Souls. You can do a little bit more than Dark Souls. But
what I'm saying, Volt is trying to say it's the same as Dark Souls, where you get a 50% chance of getting it in one, but then if you can't get it then you go to New Game Plus. You can keep going to New Game Plus like forever, apparently, I guess, and keep getting a chance. The problem is you don't need that fucking weapon for any of those bosses. That's all I'm saying. In this game, you need these things to upgrade your shit. It's not the same. Yeah. It's not about like making a certain build. It's about what you need for the fucking game to play.
Yeah. If you don't get the things to upgrade your armor and weapons, the next behemoth will crush you. There's no doubt about it. It will just. There's some that right now I've gotten like really decent gear, and there's one particular behemoth which it says, "Oh, you're fine to fight that," because they give you like saying, "Oh, this indicator saying, no, you're not ready," or "You're kind of ready, but you'll probably get beat."
Yeah.
Right now it tells me you're good to go, and I go in there and that thing can kill me in 2 hits. 2 hits.
Jesus
easy.
Christ. You're good to go to the grave. Yeah.
And I'm like,
put that grave. Yeah.
Everything up until that point was a nice gradual progression. Like, even though I had some that I was like, yes, you can fight them. If you play stupid, you die. Yeah. If it came down to some really like tooth and nail fights. I was like, yeah,
cool,
beat it. Fuck yeah. You felt good.
Well, what kind of like
you're going in there to die.
What kind of combat does it have? Like
it does have a kind of a like it's very in like Dark Souls in terms of the sense where you have to read its visual cues. Like, oh, it leans its body to that side, it's gonna push itself and lunge at you. If it arches its body to in a particular way, it's gonna spin and flip its tail and try to hit you. It goes up on 2 legs. Oh, that's about to jump back in the air and knock back some wind. One can like blow like a gust of wind at you, and that would do you damage. And then after that, then that the next thing it's gonna do is that it's gonna charge at you. So you have a lot of like visual cues to know when to attack, when to get the fuck out, and when to try to go back in and attack. And if you overstay your welcome, you think, oh, I could just go in here and wail on this thing, you'll get killed. It will just hit you in 2 or 3 hits, and then you can die.
What's the I've seen nothing. What's the like pacing of this? Like,
yeah,
when you say the example, I think of like when you were referencing Dark Souls things, like that gives me a good image of, okay, read an enemy, learn an enemy, respond to an enemy, determine windows of opportunity. But Dark Souls a lot of times can feel really slow. So like, what's the pacing of it? Is it like really quick, or is it like somewhere in the middle? Like,
the pacing is slow. Now, if you go up against one behemoth, it has significantly less life as opposed to 2 and up. If you fight it with 2 people, you might as well be fighting it with 4 people, which is something I don't really like. I think there should be a stage in between 1 and 4. Basically, between 1. So once you get 2 people, it's gonna be just as tough as if you got 4 people. So it gets more health. It's gonna fight, a little bit more aggressive in that sense.
Nothing you've told me about this game since you first started talking about it makes me feel good about it. Everything comes down to sounding like they have a gimmick or a neat thing that Monster Hunter is already doing, and this doesn't sound like it's fleshed out very well. Doesn't sound like they have a roadmap for development. Doesn't sound like good things when you're talking about like RNG not even getting the right fucking thing that you've been working for. It just sounds like here's a neat thing. That's why I say if it launches, if it ever actually does, it's going to be, that was neat for like a minute and then dead.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. They haven't given a roadmap in terms of,
which is also scary.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that's why I say I can't say, oh, they don't know what they're doing, or this game is going to die quickly, because I don't really have any information. So they could be just holding back stuff because they know like this whole Monster Hunter comparison and stuff is going on. So they probably don't want to play out their hand too early, which is understandable. But at the same time, you're leaving kind of people in the dark, which is also another thing that I want to bring up, which is probably going to make you think, oh, there's more negative. You never really know when you are beating the monster.
What?
There are visuals, things that happen. Like the monster would get like gashes on his
body.
Oh,
okay. All right.
But like the same one that I said that can kill you and like kill me in 2 hits. That one, you can beat the fuck out of that. Like its body will got countless scars on it. And you still don't know if it's going to be, if you're near the end of the fight or not, because there's no health bar.
Yeah.
And other than the markings, you don't know for sure.
So are you
or not? Because there've been points where I've fought a monster, a behemoth, really long, and it had multiple gashes. It kept getting more and more gashes. I'm like, why the fuck aren't you dead?
So it has a visual feedback. A visual feedback that tells you that you've done damage to it, but the visual feedback scale is not equal or parallel to the actual numbers. So
it's hard to say.
You only get so much visual feedback that you're murdering it, and that it appears as if you've done 100% of murder, but then it goes on like 3 times longer than that. Is that what you're saying?
This is like the Black Knight. This is like the Black Knight in Monty Python. You cut off his fucking leg. It's like, ha! 'Tis a scratch. You're like, bitch, you're fucking dead already. Die! Stop coming back. You can't.
Interesting you said that, because you can actually cut off parts of the monster visually. You can cut off the horn on it. You know,
I want to cut all the legs off and let it roll around like a chicken.
You can cut off its tail. You actually hear a visual noise if you break its legs. It still attacks you the same.
This is starting to get into PETA territory. I feel bad now. I don't want to break animals' legs.
Hey, PETA territory can be pretty delicious.
Yeah. Well, is the chicken
some really delicious things on it. Yeah, I mean.
So, yeah. Honestly, I think it's a really, really good concept.
I'm hungry.
It's compelling. If you get into the combat and it works, when the combat works, it works really good. But sometimes it just feels like stuff is prolonged and you don't really know. I mean, because it's like watching a kettle.
So how much are they charging for this? What, pre-alpha closed?
All right,
beta master.
If you want to be able to play now in the early access, this is the founders early access that they have going on. You got to pay $80.
Is it the pre-zygote stage, or what's going on here?
Yeah, I think that is way.
Is it closed beta or what?
It's a founders early access.
So they're not even labeling it. All right.
I could bring up the site and tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out like where they're positioning themselves, because to me it doesn't sound great, but they're trying to generate interest because they need money, right? So I'm trying to figure out like where are they exactly in their development cycle here?
Yeah.
Oh god. Question. I was telling them they gotta log in to see the fucking founders packs.
Oh,
okay. Logged in.
That's weird.
I mean,
so how did people even get how did they just word of mouth or?
Yeah, well,
digital blowjobs.
Yeah, actually did
some cyber with people.
People found a bit shady. Okay, here we go. I can log in.
Well, I guess you went and sign up on the website, right, or something like that.
Yeah, you can sign up on the website if you heard about the game. But what they also did too is that they told people, hey, notify your favorite content creator about this game, and they can get into our creator.
That's smart. I'm not going to knock them for that.
It's smart, but then some content creators found it to be nagging, as in like a lot of their viewers or whatever bombarded with them like that. They were like,
I'm not taking that. I call bullshit. You know why? Because people that are content creators get nagged to do shit all the time. Hell, look at even in Tactical Potatoes stream, he was playing Dauntless, and they're like, "What about Warframe?" So I don't even consider that as a thing. That goes with the territory of being a content creator. I know. I used to be one. So people would always say, "Can you play this? Can you play it?" No, I'm not playing that right now. I'm only playing this game. Or as a streamer, do you ever play this? No, I don't. I'm playing these games right now. Oh, well, I like this game. Later, you know. So I'm like, goes with the territory. I'm not worried about their feelings or whatever about that.
I think their site having some issues because they were having issues on the game. And
do you have a general idea how much it costs?
No, I was telling you, founders. I know what is the founders packs. The founders pack to get into the early access. You have to buy the highest tier founders pack.
How much money? Oh, okay.
$80. Which, like I said, I think that's too much money to try out your game and give you feedback.
That's
basically what it is.
Fucking ridiculous is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So
there's no way that everybody playing
don't
that
always cost that much.
there's no way that everyone playing that right now paid that.
That everybody playing it now?
Right.
Well, I didn't. I was thankfully gifted a key that I was allowed me to play by somebody who is a content creator and also put into the founders package for it too.
I wonder if the founders pack comes with keys to give away like Fortnite. Doesn't Fortnite do that?
Yes, that's correct. There's some sort of package with Fortnite where you have gift copies.
Because Watusi did that. That's right.
What they did do is that if people played it enough, like founders, if you played a certain amount of it, like if you played and got to certain behemoths, you were allowed to give a key to somebody else.
Oh,
but it was just a beta key.
Yeah.
So basically, right. So the pack, I was right. The pack that is $80 is called a founder pack.
Yeah. Okay.
That gets you into the found. This right now, what's going on until the end of this month is called the Founders Alpha. So if you pay for the Founders pack, you have this exclusive beta event, which is what they have going on now. You get access to that.
Do you have a thing that says everything that's included in it? Because I want to know if it's $80 if there's a ZJ in there.
Right?
No, there are no ZJs.
If you're just joining the podcast, we're talking about Dauntless and Founders packs and ZJs. Are they really worth $80?
And now the thing is, though, is that there's a pack below that costs $70. That only gets you into that won't get you into the Founders Alpha, which is what it is now. That will get you into the closed beta, which is supposed to happen sometime after this Founders Alpha.
Oh, they're not even okay. All right,
but it's 70.
Yeah. Well, for the closed beta.
For the closed beta access, yeah.
So they're in closed alpha right now, I guess.
No, they're in the Founders Alpha.
Wow, it's closed to the public, right?
It's closed to the public.
I'm calling it closed alpha. Right. Oh wait, is it a paid to win alpha? No, it's a paid to play alpha.
I just try not to confuse people because I just try to give their terminology, so you can call it what you want.
Wow, their marketing terminology is garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then there's the Slayer package and if you bought one of the founders, if you bought a founders pack, which was the $80 one, you also get included in that a Slayer's pack, which is the lowest tier, which is $40. You get one of those to gift to a friend. But if you gifted that to a friend, they can't play in the Founders Alpha. They gotta wait until the closed beta comes out.
Oh, okay. So closed beta is $70 or the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how much is Slayer?
So Slayer's $40.
Oh, 40. I thought you said 40. Yeah. I just had to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right, then.
Somebody who bought the Founders Alpha pack did give me a Slayer one, but I couldn't play in this Founders Alpha. So one of the content creators gave me a specific key that he got, I guess, from the developers, because I was helping him out in terms of trying to get content.
Yeah.
For footage for content. So they gave us access to get in and play and help him out and experience the game.
Yeah. Well, look forward to hearing more about it. Whenever they figure out what the fuck they're doing. It still sounds like a lot of not stuff done yet. I'm surprised they're actually allowing people to stream it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised because I think they need to generate that interest, because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is just a what's that game called?
Monster Hunter game.
This is just a Monster Hunter clone. People that have played this, people that are content creators I've seen have said that this is a Monster Hunter clone. I'm like, no, it's not. I've looked at Monster Hunter's world.
It may not be.
People have been put up. No,
but it doesn't matter.
It's even may not be. It is not. The only similarity is that you're gonna fight a big monster. Yeah,
but I understand what you're saying.
World, the combat in Monster Hunter's world looks so much different to this. This one looks more like I said, like a Dark Souls like kind of combat. You know, learn details, move in, attack, back out. You know.
Well, I mean,
when you know all that.
If I was just a standard average gamer, if I could, whenever I do pull my head out of my ass every once in a while, if that one guy that I watch religiously on YouTube says this, then I immediately agree and take that as gospel.
It's just short.
So
it's like what they say about that. I can't even remember the fucking name of that game that I played. I'm gonna call it the Dark Souls techno game. It's the Surge.
Yes.
The same fucking. Trust me. I said the same. You can go back and listen to the podcast when I talk about Surge. I'm like, it's not Dark Souls fucking game just because it has melee comp. It's people. Yeah. You can't stop the tide. Yep. It's just they're gonna call it what they want. Yeah. And honestly, I would go along with it. It's not worth trying to fight it if I were the developer. But
yeah. Same thing with Overwatch and that other one that failed that we mentioned earlier again. What's it called
people
again?
just say everything's Overwatch now, so.
Yeah.
But what was that one? The one that came with the same time was Overwatch again? It's so bad it's hard to remember the name for it.
Probably Battleborn, even though it's not like Overwatch.
Yeah. Everybody was saying, "Oh, that's just Overwatch clone." It wasn't.
Yeah.
It will go down in history as an Overwatch clone. But all that to say, look, the game is in early access. I think that it needs a lot more development. Like if they're bringing this out next year, they got to put some serious fucking work. If they think they can bring this out in a year, and it's good content, I don't think that they can do it in a year in terms of what I see in the game currently and what they need to put in, unless they're withholding things, which I doubt. And if they are withholding things, when they add things, it seems to be breaking the game constantly because in 3 days you had to re-download the entire game when they updated it.
That is fucking weird.
And some people
have no update system
sometimes
in place?
that happens. Some people were telling me, sometimes that happens. I was like, but when they were in the technical alpha and they had an update, you just had to download the update and you were able to pause it. Now you have to download the whole thing and you aren't able to pause it because they have a new launcher. And I'm like, the old launcher was better than this one. The old launcher looked like shit, but it functioned better. So they need to go back to the functionality of the old launcher. That's what they need to do. Again, like I said, I think that this game is in a very
it's being developed. It's not even. That's why I was like, I'm surprised they're letting people like stream it. It's whatever.
I think that they're trying to generate money and stuff for it. That's why they're putting it out there so heavily.
But you would leave that to like a marketing, like a department that's going to run trailers or make some cool trailers or teaser content. That's what I would do because shit's not ready. Basically you tease the shit out of gamers saying, "Oh, what's this?" Yeah,
I don't think it's ready. I think they feel pressure to get stuff out there and get it in the hands of people. It might be to their detriment, but I don't see them getting the game to the level of polish that it needs to be in order to hold people's interest for long term within a year.
Yeah.
Unless they increase significantly their, development staff. But even by doing that, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get stuff out. It just means you got more hands on deck. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that it does add more stuff and that it just doesn't become a failure because it does have a lot of potential. It seems really good, but it also seems really early and really flawed. So
seems very limited right now.
Yeah. And the limitations also extend to the amount of lag that you get because, like I said, if you get a fight and it doesn't have lag, you feel like you're in a fight. When it does have lag, there's rubber banding because there's a weapon called the chain blades where you can dash. Like everybody else rolls out of the monster's way. You just roll out, and that's your evasion. With the chain blades, you should think of like dual commas. You can throw them out and pull yourself to the monster and whatever. You can dash. With me, it happens to me a lot. Again, it also may depend on where I'm located in the world, so that's why again a little bit more lag. But still, I don't get this kind of lag with other games. So it means obviously their servers are limited and it's early, and obviously they're not gonna have that kind of server power that other games will have. But I would dash away. I even tested it. I dashed away late, like try to dash away last second. I get rubber banded back into the spot. Like it literally
just doesn't sound good, man.
Yeah, I see my character get pulled back in front of the behemoth, and then I get hit. I tried doing it earlier before the creature gets anywhere near me. The same thing happens. So it's like on my end, I am seeing myself get away from the monster, but when my connection catches back up with the server saying, you didn't move in time, so we need to pull you back and put you in a position where you actually got hit. So that makes it really difficult to evade the monsters when you need to. So when that starts to happen, fights, I tell you no lie, I get extremely frustrated.
Let's cut it. I mean, you're detailing everything, but honestly, it's exactly what you said. It's super early, like really detailing out all the problems, or like, it's going to change. I honestly think that it's too little to even. It's like judging The Division if they only put out survival mode first. It's like I can't really envision the rest of the game out of that yet. Maybe I could, but even a limited version of not even everything that's there. You can't. It's just too little to. Hopefully they'll do well. I got nothing invested in them, so But we'll see how it comes along.
Every time I describe anything or somebody asks me about the game, I just always have this disclaimer at the front. It's really early in the game.
But
so I can't expect that there's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
So things and looking forward to the future and stuff. There's not quite a remake, but kind of like a remake, I guess. I guess it would be a remake. There's the Super Nintendo Secret of Mana is getting a remake that will come to PS4, PS Vita, and Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like it's largely the same, but visually it looks totally different because it's 3D instead of 2D, and it's got a similar sort of like child-looking anime type look to it, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's different, even though it's similar to the original.
A lot of people played that game. I remember. I just never played it.
I really liked that game. That was one of my first like RPG co-op games when I was really young. But the remake, besides the visual thing, which is the thing that pops out most to me because it's so different, is that it will include unspecified gameplay updates, which could make it more exciting, or it could be blah.
Wait, they're children anime. Never mind. Sorry.
And an entirely new musical score, which is interesting because I feel like that's going to damage nostalgia, but it could be more interesting. And since I don't give a shit about nostalgia, but I did enjoy that game, so it has a nostalgic sense to me as well. I don't know. I feel very unsure of what to make of this. Like, I'm very intrigued.
All they have to do is like give an option to like play the old soundtrack, which I guarantee like a lot of like current sound engineers would be like, fuck you, no, we need to make it clean. That was garbage, the quality alone, let us at least remake that, if we're going to do that. Yeah.
But I am all for things not only just like being remade in some capacity, but I kind of like the idea of switching it up slightly, so while it still hits certain nostalgia things, it's different. So it gives me an actual excuse to play it. Because if I really wanted to play that game, the exact same game, I could just play the old one.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. So, but I looked at that and I was like, oh, that was a big game in my gaming life.
Oh, and I just meant in general it was a big game. Yeah.
That's where the Dryad part of my name comes from, is directly that game. So it was neat. I was like, oh, shit, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's February 15, 2018. So I will probably literally look at that and be like, and I'll see the price, whatever it is, and I'll probably be like, I don't know, and then I probably won't get it. But then I'll be like, hey, that person's got it. I want to watch you play that more. So yeah.
Yeah, it could be a streaming game. I don't know how long that game is,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some speedrunner person's like, you can beat the game in 20 minutes.
Well, outside of that, like if sometimes RPGs have good potential to stream, and sometimes they're grind fest. Most times, if they're JRPGs, they're grind fest. So
yeah,
never
the
mind.
game swung slightly towards more of an action game. So while you could grind and there was some benefit to grinding, it really wasn't necessary. So it could be a good game to stream, because also it brings back nostalgia-esque topics. So it has a good conversational piece, but it looks very different. So people aren't like, oh, I've already seen this and whatever. They might be more interested in looking. So it could be.
And you could do that thing where you grind off stream, so you don't have to worry too much about doing that too much. Like, oh, I need to stop here because I'm going to need to grind, whatever. And then come back, and then your character's ready to go for the next part or whatever. So that's always the thing, at least in Dark Souls.
Yeah. Why aren't you going? And you should use the spear, because the spear has the top damage output by 1 point over the sword.
That doesn't even bother me. That's cool, though. That's cool.
I honestly could never subscribe to that stuff, because it's like, oh yeah, the spear feels like shit to me.
What?
That's always gonna be my response. I want to use the other weapon, but you can't get your min max with it. I don't want it. It's not fun.
Yeah. I agree. It's hard for me to use the meta weaponry of anything if I don't find the mechanics fun. It goes back to grinding. It becomes a grind for me if I have to use. You got to use the sword. The sword has the best, but the sword has the worst animation moveset. So I'm going to use the hammer, even though it does 1/3 of the damage, because it looks fucking cool. Why do they hate on hammers? Anyways.
Take me to Hammer Town. Yeah, that's all I got. I was just holding on to that one because I was like, ooh, nostalgia
cool.
thing. And I'm not a nostalgia person, so rare moment.
That's cool. I only have one more thing. I'm not trying to rush to it. I was just like, I think the Dauntless thing was just going downhill and downhill and downhill. And I was like, oh, man. Titanfall 2. DLC pack coming out. Postcards from the Frontier. Free DLC, of course. Bunch of new maps.
More maps, yes.
Yeah. The only thing I really care about is Frontier Defense is going to be getting 3 more maps converted over. Angel City, which is original map, going to be converted over from the current game PvP over to Frontier Defense. That's probably spawn points and all that garbage. Exoplanet, I've never seen that map. That's probably a PvP one because I don't play PvP. I wouldn't know. And Dry Dock are the maps that are going to be converted, which would be great because, as I said in the Discord, finally I can stop playing war games repeatedly because the game just seems to want to throw war games at me all the time now. I swear to God, we played with Volts one night and it was war games. It's like, really? Come on. I didn't even like it that much in the first game. I thought it was like too outside of what the game was like. Normally, that's why I didn't really like it too much,
It was almost like every single one.
I think they should also give you an option to just say, look, I want to play these 2 maps. I want to play these 3 maps.
Yeah, they should.
Tries to find those for you because
there's
some people that might only want to play 1 map.
Mm-hmm. It did that in Titanfall 1. You could select the map that you wanted, and then it would build a team around you, or it would take the people there you're with and fill in the gap. But maybe that has something to do with matchmaking. Because remember, Titanfall 2 is a failure, and so people going away, in order to try to make people feel like people were not leaving, they just simply took away how many people were playing the game types. It didn't stop those people from playing only those game types. It just took away your knowledge that that's where the people were playing. Yeah, it could have something to do with matchmaking where they're just like, you play whatever the fuck we say you play.
Bitch.
Yeah, we're just going to throw you together because you're around. That's it. We don't care. No choice. It's like when people want to play Legacy on Paragon, and Paragon's like, no, we need you to play this one map type because if we try to split the community right now, you're going to have long match waits, So it's understandable, but when you have a small community to play with.
To me, that's like solving one problem with another problem, so...
No, I think it's a good solution. When you have when you got 10 people and each map requires 4, at most, what are you going to get? Like 2 games going, right? 2.5. That doesn't really work. So 2 games going. And then if you can say, all right, now we're going to be able to break up these into any way you want. Let's say 3 people want to play one, but 3 other people each want to play different ones singularly. So you're only going to maybe get 1 game going, because, it just fractures it way too much, I think, is what it is.
Well, all right. Well, then maybe a better option might be, look, this is the priority maps I want to play. Please find this map first. And then if it can't find any, then it just puts you into the other thing. It's like, well, nobody's playing that map right now. So if you actually want to play the game, you got solid this one, and then you can.
It's logical. It makes sense, and it's probably one of those things that always comes back to, because they didn't do it originally, then it's one of those things of like, it seems really easy. Why not do that? Because it would take work. So that's probably, that's at least the guess that I have. The guess that I don't really know, We're never really in on these, so we don't really know. But that would be my guess, is that's one of those. Like today on the Division stream, they were saying, people were like, Battle Royale. I was going to say that about like whatever game we were talking about earlier. I was like, how you make Darkwood a winner or Dauntless? Put a Battle Royale mode in it. Yeah. So, people were saying that about like the Division. They're like, well, why not just make Survival Battle Royale and that'll fix the problem. Then everybody will play it. And the guys were like, yeah, that sounds really, I would totally. And the other guy was like, dude, you know how that works. You don't want to promise something because we may think it seems like we may agree with the community, but in reality, it's like, well, this system was not made for that type of event. It seems like it would easily be tweaked a little bit, but in reality, this is tied to this, which is tied to that, which is tied to that. And it turns out you can't quite just turn that screw a little bit and make it, shift position or whatever. So that's the nature of the beast.
The game engine could not be designed to work with that kind of stuff at all. And then you try to do it and it just completely breaks the game.
Yeah, next thing you know, you got characters' legs, their knees bending backwards like in Rainbow Six Siege, and which was an amazing... That was a feature, motherfucker. That was a feature, and I loved it. And why did it go away? Bring back satyr mode, satire mode, whatever, the goat look, goat man. But yeah, that's all I got for Titanfall 2. That's all I got. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Not quite 3, thank God. I'm tired as fuck.
Feels called it, man.
Yeah. So, thanks everyone for hanging out. Sorry, we don't normally engage in a question-answer discussion on the live stream because it just pauses the stream too much and we never get through anything if we do that. So sorry if you feel ignored. Can't help you with that. But b3gamingcast@gmail.com. Send all your gripes there.
Yes. And hate mail.
For some reason, I just felt like showing no. You don't have the answer, Sway. You don't have the answer. Joke on Kanye if you don't know it.
I don't, but it does sound funny to me, and I like it. That's... Phil, thanks again for stepping in when I needed somebody to fill out the podcast. Graham, ditto.
Yes, I got the best Pokemon compliment.
Yeah, because it turns into anything you want.
Exactly.
And with that, that's pretty much it. Thanks to everyone for your support. The B3 cast will come back at some point in the future, or it will not. Either way, no tears shed here. Was great. And thanks for all the support. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Well,
thanks for listening.
Yep. Maybe we'll be back.
Maybe we will, and maybe we won't. We'll see you later either way.